Yo, what's up, dudes? Are y'all here for the title, or are y'all just here because it's habit? Yo, I had to cover this today. I had to. As soon as I saw it on the feed, I was like, "Oh, we're covering that." Jesus. Okay, let's. Oh, ain't doing that. All right. I'm cold. It feels great outside, but it's cold in here. Hold on. Let's see if I have a jacket out there. Someone use me. I don't have any other jackets. That's unfortunate. Alright. We're gonna pull this up here in a second. Let me get all my shit squared away. Dog. Where the fuck is my other sleeve? Alright. Kevin, what's good, man? How are you? How's your day? Well, I'm sorry about that, Jeff. You can always turn that bell off. So, all right. I need a fucking haircut. All right. There we go. Let's see. Let me know which view y'all want this in. Katai, what's good? I just need a haircut, Jeff, because look at my fucking hair. I'm not gonna cut anything off the top, just all off the sides. And like, look at this. I can't do anything about this. This is like so fucking awkward. You see this? That, like, on this side, it's fine because it goes all the way back. It grows. Right here, it's almost like it got singed on fucking something. It doesn't want to do anything. It's all fucked. So I either just keep it up or down depending on what my hair is doing. See right there, it looks normal. The strangest thing. Yo, mysterious Ashley, Katai, what's good? How are you? We're gonna check out this. You know, it's funny because this story is about a Marine, but it was on the Army Times, which is just hilarious to me. There's a new Angry Cops video. NYPD detective pole dances in a rap video. The irony is that she'll probably arrest a couple of the dudes in that rap video in the future. I don't know. Is that... it could be worse. I mean, was she off duty when she was dancing? If you're off duty, you're off duty. I don't really think there's a rule inside of police departments that say when you are or not allowed to shake your ass, as long as it's not on the job or in uniform. But if she wasn't on the job or in uniform and she wants to shake the cheeks, I guess we're a way to tell her she can't. However, it does bring forth a degree of unprofessionalism in the public eye. But who cares? She's not a politician, she's a cop. I mean, could be worse. It could be like, I don't know, she could be selling her vagina for money. Moonlighting as a hooker while being a cop. That would be bad. She's just shaking the cheeks a little, I guess. I'm not too upset. But this could be a slippery slope, you know? Especially within the department. Whole bunch of horny dudes figure out that one of their co-workers secretly dances at strip clubs. It's only a matter of time for that strip club is full of fucking cops. Off-duty cops. All trying to bang Miss Lopez here. She looks Hispanic. I don't know. Reverend, what's good? Yours is a cowlick? Yeah, mine is stupid. Actually, I'm half tempted to just like straight fucking cut it off, all like right there at the source. But then it's gonna look like I have a bald spot. So I can't do that. Kamala did it? Kamala did what? Kamala shook her ass on camera? Lies. I doubt that lady can twerk. She just doesn't seem like she has one twerking bone in her body. Like when she tries to twerk, it looks like her whole body is moving. It looks like an ironing board having a seizure. That's probably what it looks like when Kamala Harris twerks. And let's just get this out of the way. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell when all you wear is fucking pantsuits, but you kind of have to have something to shake if you're gonna twerk, right? Twerking don't exist if you got no ass. I don't even know what Kamala's working with back there. Probably gone. Isn't she like 60 something? I made a huge thing of chicken Alfredo last night, and the leftovers is calling me. Dude, that's my life. Leftovers. I eat leftovers. I eat all the leftovers until the leftovers are gone, and then I'll think about making something new, which is a problem I had with a lot of exes. They didn't like that. They would just throw it out. And I'm like, listen, I'm not fucking being disgusting here and keeping food for a whole week. If it passes like the 2-day, at most, depending on how hungry I am, 3-day threshold, we're not throwing shit away, sweetheart. That's like, it's not happening. So quit throwing away goddamn perfectly good food. Okay? Starving kid in Africa that would still eat this even if there was shit on it, alright? I eat all the leftovers, and a lot of people that I've either hung out with, been friends with, or dated, they weren't like that. And I was like, y'all are fucking strange. Strangest people ever. Y'all just wasting food. How? Why? No fucking reason. She was a thought back in the day, so you never know. I mean, I would like a comprehensive, detailed timeline of her whore days. That'd be cool. Alright. Anyways, this is what we're here for immediately. Wait, what? No way that that's real. But it's on the Army Times. Meal? Get this, guys. Listen. For those of you that know what this is, you're gonna be like, But y'all say no to steroids? Meal ready to bulk? Pentagon urged to add creatine to MREs. Now, creatine is not actual anabolic steroids, but we used creatine in high school to pretty much have the same kind of effect. Sort of. And creatine wasn't even all the way all that good when we were in high school, because while it did work to a degree, that shit also gave you an insane amount of acne. And it made you break out. Now imagine being 15, 16, 17 years old, you're going through puberty, and you have added acne on top of the acne you already have. Ugh. Alright, so we took creatine in high school. For sports. Can't really remember what it did, but we took it. By the truckload. And then we were taking, there was something else that we were taking that eventually got banned because it was giving athletes heart attacks. Mainly pitchers. I think we were taking ephedrine. Back when you could get it over the counter. Yeah. That's not good. I would not give. You might as well just give them steroids, bro. Really. If they want it. Creatine? But maybe that's like, maybe creatine is like on the path to steroids. Or maybe making a steroid that doesn't shrink your testicles, I suppose. We'll check that story out too. Chinese Jody hit with jail time after stealing military spouse. Damn, is that in China or America? Yo, homegirl was being a skank and stole someone's husband and got jailed for it. What? Okay, let's do the main one first. Maybe we did the habitual line crosser. What was it about? Probably. We probably did. Okay. So this is what we're gonna cover first, and then we'll get to some of those other ones. No, surprisingly, no. None of us use steroids. Katai, because steroids is against UCMJ. And you'll get in trouble for steroids. I don't know why. Because it's not like we're competing over who can be the best military. We're competing who can be the most deadly. And when it comes to being deadly, fair goes out the window, right? If you're playing a game of football, obviously steroids is unfair. Baseball, unfair. Any kind of like competition, sport, it's unfair. Correct? When it comes to combat, nothing's unfair. So if our soldiers wanted to take steroids at their own peril, at their own risk, they'd be able to, I guess, if it's going to help them fight better, if it's going to make them stronger, faster, more agile, blah, blah, blah. But I can also see it from the military's perspective. They don't approve steroids. They don't make steroids, right? They don't want you putting something into your body that they didn't make or that they didn't approve of. At the end of the day, you're in the military, you're an investment to the military. You're not a person, you're not a name, you're not a male or a female, you're just a green number. That's it, really. And when you're putting yourself in unnecessary danger that the military themselves wouldn't put you in, that's when they get mad. They're like, no, you're not doing that. No steroids, no drugs, no meth, no this, no that. Sometimes they take it a little bit too overboard. But I get where they're coming from. I also get where I'm coming from. Like, if a motherfucker can be even the slightest bit more effective in combat, why wouldn't we want that? But let's kind of like, let's lose some brain cells here for a second and see, Marine lights candles for romantic hotel surprise. Sets room on fire. Right. And I know some of you are thinking, how can you be this stupid, right? Because as a Marine, at one point you lived in the barracks. And if you've lived in the barracks even longer than 30 minutes, you know that you're not allowed to have an open flame in those barracks. Highly frowned upon by the military. Open flames. Not a good mix for soldiers. You want to know why? Because soldiers are stupid. Especially the ones from the ranks of E1 to E4. Right? I still remember this. No open flames, man. No nonsense. And if you wouldn't do it in your barracks room, man, Why would you do it anywhere else? What was intended to be a passionate hotel room rendezvous. Was it, though? Turned into nothing more than a smoldering chamber of sorrow after approximately 20 candles lit by a Marine sparked a fire that left the room's confines crispier than intended. The unnamed sergeant... And a lot of these things, 99% of the time, I always assume it's an E4 and below, because I used to be one of those. I know what we do. I know what we get up to. I know our behaviors, and I just know my own, right? Sergeant? How uncharacteristically fucking moronic of you. Sergeant? I really was expecting a stupid-ass E1. Assigned to Camp Schwab, told the police the candles were intended to be a surprise for his partner, who he'd gone to pick up from the nearby Naha airport on November 14th. While leaving, that would become a conflagration unattended. Conflagration. I don't know how that word's crazy. So you lit the candles and then left to go pick up your partner from the airport, and then when you got back, your place was burned down. Is that what it is? The Marine was arrested the following day by Okinawa Prefectural Police and taken into custody at the Naha police station. Stars and Stripes report. This didn't happen in America, did it? The Camp Schwab. Is that in Japan? Is that in Japan? I can kind of see that now. A lot of stuff over there made of bamboo. Let's see. Okay. A police spokesperson told Stripes the room at the Pro-Style Ryokan Naha Kenchome Hotel, good lord, we're just gonna call it the Pro-Style Hotel, was completely burned. I think this was in Japan. Adding that the sergeant was arrested for putting the people of the hotel and surrounding area at risk. You could have just been like us normal dudes, bro, and put on some Netflix and taken your go to Pound Town. That's it. The whole candle stuff, while it's romantic, did you have to have that many? 20? 20. You realize that depending on how long it has been since you've had sex, it would have taken you longer to light the candles than it did to climax? You realize that, my man? Depending on how long it's been since you've gotten any. But I'm assuming it's been a while since you felt the need to light 20 fucking candles. I'm sorry, no one died. We can laugh at this. Holy shit. Yeah, 5 max. 5. What are we doing here? This homie saw way too many movies and thought that shit was actually appropriate. No, bro, they have fucking safety people on standby for that. Marine Corps officials confirmed the incident, but provided no additional details, telling Stripes that the service is cooperating with the investigation. The damage, meanwhile, was fortunately contained to the one room, with no injuries or additional destruction reported. Details on whether any charges would be filed beyond the accusation of loving too intensely who wrote this have not yet been made available. Not since Professors Raja and Virginia Clarvin first entered the scalding waters of the hot tub at the Welshie Arms Hotel have affections burned more vigorously. That's funny. Yo, whoever wrote this article's got jokes. Not since I've read that wrong and fucked that up. Not since Professors Raja and Virginia Clarvin first entered the scalding waters of the hot tub at the Welshie Arms Hotel have affections burned more vigorously. I read it better that time. Still, one would think a branch commonly associated with crayon eating would be better for it. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Oh, I didn't really think you were allowed to be that liberal with the things that you said and how you said them on the Army Times. I thought there would be just a slight bit more. I like this. That's great. Update the safety brief. Whoever wrote this, who did it? Your name's got to be at the top. By J.D. Simpkins. My man. That was a good read. I enjoyed that. You must be prior army. Unless everyone can get it and today was just the Marines' turn. Alright. Well, that's really it. There's nothing left. Homie was gonna get laid and then lit way too many fucking candles because he's seen way too many love movies and doesn't realize that that's a fire hazard no matter where you are. I mean, I suppose you could light 20 small candles inside of your garage. Right there in the mid, and you'll be fine. Nothing crazy will happen. But okay, before we even... Yeah, this did happen in Japan. I just had to make sure. This did happen in Japan. Cool as shit, bro. You get to be stationed in Japan. And now you've been arrested for putting the lives of innocent people at risk because you wanted to have a romantic evening. It's not your I mean, technically, bro, this is 100% your fault, but not your fault at the same time. It is your fault because you did put people at risk, but it's not your fault because the only thing you're guilty of is just you're a romantic guy, right? So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, though. You're in someone else's country. Someone has to pay. That sucks for you, Sergeant. Maybe you come back stateside with one less rank. Maybe you don't get demoted at all. Maybe they just chalk this up to... I mean, come on, guys, they ate crayons. He could have burned down the whole building, but it was just the one room, so let's just be happy about that. Move on, right? Could have been worse. I feel, personally, it could have been worse. Why not use fake candles? What do you mean, fake candles? Oh, you mean like the plastic candles that one would get like for fucking Christmas to like hang around the tree and shit? Yeah, no one can really be that mad. He was trying to be romantic, doing something nice for his lady. I get it. But, you know, rose petals on the bed, that's good too. No candles is just as fine. I mean, I'm willing to bet that if you were there for Pound Town time, she was there for Pound Town time. The candles are negligible, really, at the end of the day. God forbid, where did you even have these candles? Watch this Marine have gone extra fucking brain dead and put the candles above the headboard. That way, when they start going at it, just a whole bunch of hot wax dumps on them, and it's just like... Ah! And she's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. I don't know what that was. Reminded me of the war. Sorry. That's even more embarrassing. So, that's just unfortunate, funny, all around. No one got hurt, no harm, no foul. Sorry, Japan. I mean, we trained them to kill people, and that's about it, okay? Sorry. When it comes to Marines, we trained them to kill people, and we didn't really do much else. We left it at that. We didn't really want to clog up the inner workings of what's there with extra shit. Just you there. Pull trigger that way. We created a whole bunch of Frankensteins, man, and didn't really give them any kind of like bedside manner or anything, right? But it's fine because they're amazing in combat. Have you seen them? You've seen them. Man, of course you've seen them. Sorry. Next story. Donnie. What's going on? Don. And well, you put Donnie there. I think that was the first time I've called you Don. Don, what's good, man? You missed the story. Oh my God, we have a prior Marine in here. You missed the story, Don. One of your dumbass brothers was trying to get laid and lit 20 candles inside of a fucking hotel in Japan because that's where he's stationed. And he left the hotel room with all 20 fucking candles lit to go pick up his partner from the airport. Come back, room's gone, burned, done. Like some very, very badly overcooked steak or toast. Just black. Yeah. And it was a sergeant. My guess was little young E1. Yeah, that was the first. Let me see what the... I do want to check that one about creatine. I do want to check out that one about Air Force Falcons unveil glorious. That's not bad. That's pretty sick, actually. The Air Force just dropped some special edition football uniforms that are certainly, yeah, they're kind of fire. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of the Mean Machine uniform from Longest Yard. Yo, is there photo? Let me just click on this real quick. That's not bad. That's pretty sick. Not bad, huh? Hold on. That's not bad, right? What do you guys think? And it says first there on the helmet. That's sick. The wings, it almost reminds me of like... It almost reminds me of the Oregon football team uniforms. Dude, their uniforms are always so sick and their helmets are always so nice. Oregon University? The Ducks, I guess, is what they are, man. Their uniforms, they're always so fire. Always. And that's kind of like what this reminds me of, like that matte black and just like the design on the helmet. And for the longest time, they've always had some nice ass uniforms, mainly because half of their fucking alumni worked or at one point worked or still currently works at Nike, right? So, yeah, they get sick ass shit, but that is not bad. With the IR flag right there on one sleeve. What's on the other sleeve? I don't know what it says on the other sleeve, but they have an IR flag on the other sleeve. Black and white. That's the deployment flag that we use. That's for... So we can... That's infrared flag. Done with the 5. Sounds right. And E5s and up in the core usually get away with the same dumb shit that E4s and below don't. Yeah, because they're E5s. Unless they did something truly fucking heinous. I'm not demoting an E5 in the Marines. Too valuable. You know how long and how hard it was for him to even get there? You know, it's not like my homie in the army, Grendel, whose promotion points for his MOS was 75 points. All he basically had to do was write his name, and he made E5. I don't really foresee that. I don't really see that as the case in the Marines. Earning E5 is, I feel, way more difficult than it is in the Marines than it is in the Army. Because sometimes in the Army, you go from E4 to E5, you go to that board, they'll be like, hey, your general orders. You say your general orders, they tell you to fuck off and leave. Congrats, you have E5. Or they might hit you with the, hey, NCO Creed, what is it? Say the NCO Creed, they don't ask you shit else, you fucking leave, you got promoted. Or they hit you with some complex ass fucking questions, make you do some facing movements, give you some DNC questions, give you some weapons maintenance questions, or just some weapons knowledge, effective range on M16, effective range on M4, stuff like that, right? But I feel like it's even more difficult, and that's like a percentage of the time, really. It doesn't even always go like that. But I feel like for the Marines it's more difficult, period. I don't know. I don't know the board process and the promotion process from E4 to E5 in the Marines, but I just feel like it's more difficult and like it's always earned. Whereas in the Army, sometimes that's just not always earned, bro. E5 is not always earned in the Army. I'm telling you, it's not. But in the Marines, I feel like it always is. So. How long and hard was it? About like almost 7 inches for a time, and then it just went away. I had finished. Recently, someone burned a book warehouse building near me. What kind of books were in the warehouse, David? What's good? That's a sick ass uniform, but we're not gonna stick with this story. I just like, cool. Yeah, the Air Force football team. Cool uniforms. What are y'all gonna do this season? About the same thing that the Army team does every season? Nothing. It's never gonna be a possibility for y'all to win a BCS Bowl. It's never gonna be a possibility for either of these, for any of these branches of teams to win a national championship. Why? Because the Air Force, Navy, Army, those teams, guess what they have that the rest of college football doesn't? Guess what they have? They have a weight limit. You got to stay in shape in the military. You can't be weighing 300 pounds, even if it's all muscle. You can't be weighing 300 pounds in the Army, in the Air Force, in the Navy. You just can't. And even though you're on the team, you still have to adhere to these military standards as far as your body and your weight and your tape and all that shit, right? And height and weight, right? So naturally, they get steamrolled by everyone they fucking play that's bigger than them. God forbid they play Alabama. God forbid they play UGA. God forbid they play any team in Florida. That's why they play teams like Vanderbilt and shit. Like these like bad teams and shit. Because otherwise, they ain't winning, man. They ain't winning. That's just what I've always seen. Anytime I've seen these dudes on the football field, the opponents look like they're like triple the size of, and it's just like, oh, if you let these motherfuckers actually get big, then they'd have a chance. But anyways, oh, it seems like Fat Electrician may have found his next video. Despite being gravely wounded, this ranger refused to leave his men in the Vietnam jungle. Captain Paris D. Davis was twice nominated for his actions in South Vietnam in June 1965. He was finally awarded the Medal of Honor on February 14th, 2023. Entirely way too goddamn late to be giving someone an honor of that magnitude, if they truly actually deserved it. It takes you 30 seconds to send a young man to war, but it takes you 30 years to give that same young man any kind of credit for his actions. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just really annoying sometimes? We can send you to war faster than you can say fucking IHOP. But as far as credit and any kind of acknowledgement, we'll get back to you when you're 50. Okay? Sound fair? Not really. At all. Not really. Not even the slightest. But sure. I want to do this one about creatine. I want to watch this. Don with the 5 for E4 and above in the Corps, unless it's for meritorious promotion board. They're promoted on MOS composite scores and leadership recommendation. Well, I know what leadership recommendation is, but composite scores? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I know, Vince, and it was like hella long. We'll see if we can get to it. Let me just, I'm looking through some of these that I might want to read, or some that y'all might want to read. U.S. allies, and this is just what's happening this past 3 days. I'm trying to catch up. U.S. allies rush to refit the big guns with GPS protections. Oh, Russia's jamming shit is what it is. Yeah. Russia's jamming and spoofing. Gotta get that fixed. Read that one yesterday. We did that one yesterday. Democrats to focus on women, minorities, and military personal debates. Representative Chrissy Houlihan said she'll push for better access to abortion services for troops despite slim chances of progress this year. You know, I knew a soldier in the service that had 3 abortions, bro. 3. And she was married. All 3 abortions came with the same guy. They were both in the service, and they were both staff sergeants. And she kept having abortions, bro. She had 3. She's pretty open about it too. She told us. Like, yeah, I've had 3 abortions. I'm like, I wouldn't tell people that, personally. Even if it was just 1, you've had 3. Almost like, I mean, fuck, dude, you hit the hat trick. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, alright, now we can get to... Navy details separation process for transgender personnel. Transgender service members have until March 28th to submit a voluntary separation request from the military and receive an honorable discharge. Well, there you go. At least it's an honorable discharge. Better discharge than what I got, right? Okay. Islamic State leader for Iraq and Syria killed. Haha, sucks for you, fucking turds. Get shit on. All right, let's do this one about where is this one? I saw it. It was the one about and I can't even. We'll get to these two. Oh, okay. Bet. AR-670-1 is getting revisited. Hegseth orders review of military grooming and fitness standards. Well, I don't know if the fitness falls into AR-670-1, but military grooming does. And I knew all of those rules in and out when I was in the service, because motherfucking sergeants would like to fuck with me. Falcon, you need a haircut. Actually, I don't. Are you saying no to a non-commissioned officer? I'm not saying no. I'm simply stating that AR-67-1 allows me for so many inches on top and so many inches on the side. And seeing as how I fall within that standard currently right now as we have this conversation, therefore, I don't need to get a haircut. Do you understand me, Sergeant? And he's like, everyone's a goddamn lawyer these days. I'm like, well, fuck, man. You want to fuck with people. These people are going to find ways to protect themselves when you try to fuck with them, because you didn't need to fuck with me. You know that my hair was within standards, but you decided to fuck with me anyways. That's why I have to know I have to know the rules, man. I have to know these things. Otherwise, I'm just letting people walk all over me like you just tried to do. No, that's not how it happens. That's not how it happens. We'll get to that one too. I really want to do this one about fucking creatine. Where is it? Here it is. Lord. This is from... Bro, this is from last year. Did y'all know about this? Did y'all know about this? This is from last year. I thought that I was clicking on something recently. Or on something recent. Meals ready to eat. Ready to bulk. Pentagon urged to add creatine to MREs. I don't think that's a good idea. I've taken creatine before, man. I know a lot of people that did, and A provision included in the House version of the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act is calling for the addition of a popular muscle-building supplement to the military's traditional meal ready-to-eat rations, MREs. The House Armed Services Committee called for the Pentagon to add creatine to MREs in a committee report accompanying the NDAA, sweeping legislation that Congress must pass annually to determine defense spending. Wait. This sentence is hard to decipher. I can't tell from this sentence. The House Armed Services Committee called for the Pentagon to add creatine to MREs in a committee report accompanying the NDAA, sweeping legislation that Congress must pass annually to determine defense spending. The way that reads, it almost seems like they don't want to add creatine to it, but they have to do something in order to continue to determine defense spending. You can't determine what you're not spending, so you have to spend something. Therefore, let's spend it on this. Almost seems like they don't even give a fuck about the creatine. They're just looking for a way to continue to... Hold on. The gains-based recommendation will now await a Senate decision in order to become law. A broad body of clinical research has shown that creatine can enhance muscle growth, so can steroids, physical performance, strength training, post-exercise recovery, and injury prevention, the body broadening recommendation states. You know that a lot of us also got banned from taking this when we were in high school sports. I mean, say what you will. We were teenagers. These are full-grown men taking this. I understand the difference, but this is just eventually going to lead to just flat-out steroids. Or maybe they perfect a steroid that doesn't fuck with your mood. Maybe they perfect a steroid that doesn't shrink your testicles, because that's like the biggest thing, right? That's like the biggest pushback that people have with steroids. One, roid rage, which I think is a myth, right? Roid rage, and your testicles shrinking. And on top of that, that it enlarges your heart. You could quite possibly fucking die before you hit the age of 45, right? I get that. But you can also die from Bud Light before you hit the age of 45. So, and if this is gonna make soldiers better, I mean, I don't know. I understand they probably don't want steroids because there is no steroid that is perfect and that doesn't have any long-term health, body, life effects, right? But the steroids that currently exist, that's what they have. So, is creatine a better substitute? I don't know. All I know is that that shit works, and it worked for us. However, it caused a massive amount of back acne, face acne, and just... I stopped taking it. And my workouts felt better when I would go to the gym, but here's the thing about baseball players. We don't spend that much time in the gym, right? So for me, creatine would have worked had I been a football player, or like a wrestler or something. But I was a catcher. Bro, when I went to the gym, I did a couple of squats, a couple of bench presses, some stretching, and then I just fucking went running. Or I just went and worked on my drills and spent all day on my knees, right? So creatine didn't benefit me all that much, really, as much as it should have. So, but creatine also did give you a boost of fucking energy, man. Almost like taking, almost like taking legal cocaine. Man, it was just like it was almost like a pre-workout and you were all just fucking ugh. Anyways, Kyle Turk, Director of Government Affairs for the Natural Products Association, called the supplement's potential inclusion in MREs tremendous for American service members. Okay. You do realize that soldiers don't eat MREs all the time. Why does this specifically have to be inside of the MRE? Why can't this just be something that is issued to soldiers every so often, either via the aid station, the medic, the company medic, the platoon medic, whatever, right? You can't just take creatine once every couple of times for your workouts. No, creatine is something you take all the time. It's almost like the dudes that take whey protein or the dudes that spend a whole bunch of money at GNC. Yo, these products that they buy, they don't just take it on Monday and then like 3 weeks goes by and they take it again on another Tuesday. No, bro, they're taking this every time they work out. Soldiers don't eat MREs all the time. So that means that the only way these soldiers can have access to this creatine is if they have access to MREs. 1, you don't always have access to MREs. 2, you don't always want to eat MREs, which means soldiers are going to be breaking open MREs, trashing them, or getting rid of them, throwing and or wasting them away just to get whatever's inside of it. I think that's kind of counterintuitive when you could just give it to them. Like you would issue them anything else and have them sign for it. I don't know. I literally just clicked on the thing hoping it would play because I'm not used to reading. I'm used to watching. Creatine is one of the most extensively studied ingredients for safely increasing strength and recovery time, he told Military Times in an email. Kirk consulted with the Armed Services Committee to help craft the language for the provision. Creatine is naturally occurring compound that can be found in human. I'm not going to read what creatine is. Y'all already know. Hold on. Recent medical science also suggests the supplements allow at least 227 Instagram users per year to modify their handles to respective iterations of first name fit. Did that really need to be included in the article? I don't think so. Like, are you dude, I just feel like this is a joke, really. Sometimes whoever is writing these articles, like, they like to make jokes. Creatine is one of the most extensively studied ingredients for safely increasing strength and recovery time. And if you're not sold on that yet, just remember that there's about 227 Instagram users per year that make money off of selling creatine to fucking people, and they got fit in their name. Yeah, I guess that's hilarious. The Defense Department, meanwhile, has recently introduced other sources of nutrition to yield stronger service members. I still think that shark attacks were really good at doing that and just like smoking them until they borderline died. But performance readiness bars, I swear to fucking God, if you say a Cliff Bar, I will fucking demolish you. Say a Cliff Bar. Say a Famous Amos cookie. Do it one time. You know what? I'm not in a good mood. Say a Pop-Tart. Do it. Fuck around. What are these readiness bars? Fuck with me. Brimming with calcium and vitamin D. Good for muscles and bones. Okay for taste. It's definitely for the military. If it's just okay for taste. Capital okay. You couldn't capitalize brimming with calcium. But it's okay for taste. Currently distributed throughout select military populations according to the Defense Logistics Agency. The Department of Defense Dietary Supplement Resource website outlined the benefits of creatine, saying it could have a positive effect on strength, power, sprint performance, and muscle mass in athletes who engage in resistance training. Despite its soldier building properties, it may also cause unwanted weight gain in those focused on endurance training. Yeah, because muscle weighs more than fat at the end of the day. So, yeah, you're not one to... But I hope that if this becomes a thing, they make changes to the weight and tape. Weight and tape. Whenever you take a PT test, ladies and gentlemen, you have to do weight and tape. You have to get weighed and you have to get taped. For how tall you are, you can only be so big around. So, if you're short, you can't be really big around. But if you're really, really tall, you can afford to be bigger than just a little big around, right? Weight and tape. Your height has to be proportionate to your width. Your width has to be proportionate to your height. If those things are not proportionate and they don't meet, you break tape, you bust tape, whatever the fuck they say, right? You don't pass. You can pass your PT test, but fail weight and tape. And if you fail weight and tape, it doesn't matter if you pass your PT test. Guess what? You got to go to remedial PT. So, hopefully, if you start giving soldiers the tools to strengthen, you do know muscle weighs more than fat. Hopefully that's reflected in a new weigh and tape system category, because, like, you know, you got this dude who's like 5'5", right, in the service, taking all this fucking creatine, and he used to look like me, but now he's 5'5", but looks like one of Michael Vick's best fighting pit bulls from 20 years ago, right? Homie blew up outwards, right? But not in a bad way. He's just got fucking muscle now. He's stocky as shit, right? Is your weight and tape gonna account for that? He weighs more. He's still the same size, but he's bigger around. And that bigger around is not fat. It's muscle. Is your weight and tape system going to account for that? I hope you don't fail this guy simply because, oh, he's too big around, when you can clearly see that this motherfucker is just built like a brick shit house. Come on. Like, I don't know. Hopefully the way and, you know. And if you're gonna take this creatine shit, man, make sure you're working out. Don't just be taking it and not doing anything. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I'm so hungry. You're running to the store, but bring me back something to fucking eat. I decided to go live before I ate. I may go get something to eat. It depends. Especially on the rare off chance that you as a soldier get packed in a submarine or a small boat in the middle of the East China Sea. What? What are you talking about in relation to Don? The creatine? Oh, where like that's all you have to eat is MREs? Because they don't have a dining facility on a submarine. I think submarines are too small, right? I don't think they have dining facilities on submarines, or do they? Maybe like a small one, just for the people in the submarine. Maybe they have a room for that. Or maybe they eat in their own rooms or something like that, but I can't, bro. Those are some special type of people. I can't. A submarine? I'm just thinking about it right now. That would be hell. Oh, mentioned weight and tape in the army. Yeah, that's... I think I would gain weight on a submarine. Because I think all I would do is work out. There's nothing else to do. Nothing, bruh. Nothing. Not shit else to do. Can you call home from a submarine? I fucking doubt it. When I was deployed, I could have gone to the MWR. When I was deployed, I could have gone to the dining facility. I could have gone to I could have gone to a bazaar. I could have gone to go get my hair cut at a place. I could have gone to the dining facility. And all these places were in different places that I could like walk to. I could have gone to the gym. I could have gone to the USO. On a submarine, bro, you go one of 5 places, if that, on a submarine. You go to your room, you go to the bathroom, and you go to work. And all those things happen within, like, I don't know, 50, 60 feet of one another. I can't. I fucking lose my mind. I can't. On top of that, surrounded by nothing but fucking water with nothing but fucking dudes. I mean, I've been surrounded with nothing but fucking dudes before. That's not a problem, but still. it's even worse. It's compounded on top of the fact that now you're surrounded by these guys, but like you see them all the time. And I saw my dudes on, but we were in a tent, right? And maybe they have their own ways of securing privacy and stuff like that, but it's just the fact that, bro, you can't go nowhere else. Nowhere else. And guess what? When it's time to go to work, you're there. At least for me, if I ever got sick of being on the fob, I didn't have to wait that long. We were going on a convoy. We were going on a foot patrol. I got to do shit. I got to walk. I got to go. I got to see. I got to spread my legs. I got to run if I had to. No, not there, man. You're you're here. I'm doing this. On a submarine, you're here. That don't seem fun for your boy. That's why I said, special kind of fucking person to be there. No. Anyways, did we finish? We finished this? Yeah, we did. Which story y'all want to check out next? I want to go back. That one's wild. Oh, being a paratrooper is why? I almost did it, but they wouldn't let me go to the school because I was too close from changing duty stations. I literally had all my paperwork to go to airborne school. I was there. I was on the cusp, and they were like, "Nah, bro, you leave here too soon. We're just not gonna send you to airborne school." I was like, I got it. We got to do this, bro. This one's too crazy. This one's too crazy to not check out. These are some older stories that I guess I never got wind of. Maybe y'all never got wind of. Chinese Jody hit with jail time after stealing military spouse. For those of you that don't know what a Jody is, Jody is that person that your spouse cheats on you with when you're deployed. So, you deploy, your wife and or husband is fucking Jody. That's what it is. Chinese Jody, which means this is the person fucking someone's spouse, hit with jail time after stealing military spouse. I didn't even know you could do that. But maybe this is in China. All's not fair in love and war sometimes. There is he who lies in wait, plotting to steal significant others when service members are off fighting. Wow, I thought it was going to be a female. I thought it was going to be a female that got sentenced to jail time. It's a dude. Damn. Yeah. You shouldn't be fucking other people's wives, man. At least this is in China, too. Because here in America, no one cares if someone fucks your wife. That's your problem. Take her ass to court. That's your deal. Okay, start over. All's fair. All's not fair in love and war sometimes. There is he who lies in wait, plotting to steal significant others when service members are off fighting. His name, of course, is Jody, and he exists everywhere. He does. Chinese military, Australian military, American military, Canadian military. Think of a country. If they have a military, there is a Jody out there right now fucking your wife. There's a Jody out there right now fucking your boyfriend. There's a Jody out there right now fucking your husband. You bet your sweet ass. And guess what? It happens to all of us. Maybe it hasn't happened to you yet. Keyword. Yet. Or maybe you get hella lucky and it never happens to you at all. I hope that's the case for you. In China, there are, in fact, consequences for such inhumanities. One Chinese man was recently sentenced to 10 months in prison for ruining the marriage of a People's Liberation Army soldier after he dated and moved in with the soldier's wife. 10 months? I mean, I thought that it's China. I thought the prison time would be a lot longer than 10 months. I mean, I'm definitely not serving 10 months in prison for a piece of ass. That's for goddamn sure. That's not happening. I don't care what you look like. You could be Jennifer Aniston in her prime. I'm not serving time for you. I'm just not. But yeah, China's different. China's criminal law stipulates that anyone cohabiting or marrying another person knowing that he or she is the spouse of a PLA soldier will face imprisonment. Oh, so this is only this is only a crime if you do it to someone in the military. So if you just work for the post office and your wife cheats on you, that's just it. She cheats on you and that just sucks for you. Or is this for everyone? Because the way it makes it seem is it makes it seem like it's just for this just applies whenever you steal the spouse of a service member. The man identified as Ma reportedly began. Hold on. China's criminal law stipulates that anyone cohabiting or marrying another person knowing that he or she is the spouse of a PLA soldier will face imprisonment up to 3 years. Knowing that he or she is the spouse of a PLA soldier. I think this is just specific to military service members. So, sorry, if you just work at the grocery store and your wife cheats on you, you just work at the grocery store and your wife cheated on you, bro. That just sucks. You don't get the same kind of courtesy here if you're not in the service. Which, I guess, I feel like they would apply this to everyone. It's China. Adultery is a criminal defense under UCMJ. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I haven't forgotten about that. That's not lost on me. But this is jail time, ma'am. Don, I don't know about you, and I never cheated on any of my wives. I never got accused. I was never guilty of adultery. But I know guys that were, and the most that happened to them is they got demoted. Demoted, loss of pay. Unless there were children involved, and sometimes the first sergeant would take it easy on them as far as docked pay, but they would still be in trouble. Jail time? I've never seen a soldier in in America get jail time for adultery. Oh. Nor have I seen a civilian get jail time for fucking a soldier's wife. You should here in America, that shit's usually dealt with in house, and I think that might be the problem. Too many dudes killing each other over women. Where in this way, you know, the law enforcement takes care of it. No one dies. Because here in America, that shit's taken care of in-house. And it usually ends in an ass whooping or a murder when you fuck with someone's wife here. Dude, I love this one. What's this called? Where's the end? Escape from LV 420. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Fuck! I'm so mad. That's the video that I... The man identified as Ma reportedly began an affair with a former co-worker named Juan, who was also, unbeknownst to him, an army wife. When Juan told Ma of her marital status and punishment associated with an extramarital affair, he broke it off. Sorry, I was trying to give up. But Ma just couldn't stay away, and he and Juan moved in together a month later. Juan then filed for divorce from her husband, who was away serving with the PLA. You dirty bitch. You dirty little bitch. Juan's husband, however, became aware of the affair through home security footage and subsequently turned the pair into the authorities. While destroying a military marriage could have resulted in a 3-year sentence, Ma was reportedly given a shorter stint in jail because he was honest in court about his situation. Listen, I was horny and she was giving away the booty. The punishment is so harsh because the state is obliged not to only give special protection to the marriage of a soldier, but also to respect and protect the honor of serving members of the military. I have a question here, China. And this is kind of a problem here in America too. We're guilty of this too. We really are. I have a question, China. Why the fuck are we not blaming the female? I've heard more about the guy that got cheated on than I have about the female. I've heard more about the guy that was trying to fuck the female than I have about the actual female. And the female was the one that left. The female was the one that cheated. The female was the one that was giving another man attention. The female was the one that strayed out of her marriage. Why are we not focusing all of our shit talking and justice and law enforcement on the female? If we can jail a man for trying to fuck someone's wife, we can jail a wife for trying to fuck another man, right? It's China. Why the double standard? Why are we not even remotely coming close to talking shit about this one? But we've spoken more about the man that was cheated on than the actual lady that was doing the cheating. That's kind of stupid, right? We need to start holding these bitches accountable. Not just in America, but in China. But we don't hold ladies accountable, huh? That's ever, do we? That's why they go out here, say whatever the fuck they want. Someone hits them with reality and then they want to cry about it. Because we never hold them accountable. They're not used to being accountable. We do it here too, bro. We do it here too. Man commits a crime, 50 fucking years. Throw away the key. Woman commits the same crime. 10 months probation. Bruh. We need to get rid of this light hand that we have with all these trashy bitches. Why? Why are we being so light-handed on trashy broads? You aren't light-handed on terrible men. That's just me. A 99 prison farm in Georgia, close to Florida line. Been here for 3 long years. Finally made the warden my friend. No, that's definitely not worth killing over, I can tell you that. That's, no. I debated it once upon a time. When I was young. I debated taking the life of this girl because she fucked me over. I was like 22 years old. 22, 23. 23 years old, something like that. I debated it. I went back and forth in my head. I was like, I could do it, man. I really could. But then, reality, and I'm not retarded, set in. And I was like, even if I did it, man, to what end? At what cost? A whole ass life. Not worth it. I feel good for 20 minutes. Up until the cops show up. That's not worth it. The rest of my life to feel good for 20 minutes? No. Probably why I haven't had kids yet. I think I'd be applying the same logic to that too. The rest of my life for 20 minutes? Sorry. It's not true. Not true at all. I last way longer than 20 minutes. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. We did these. I still gotta upload those. Yeah, Don. You're right, man. Okay, let's go back up. Let's see what we can check from anything new. Those are all the stories that we were supposed to cover yesterday, but there wasn't a live yesterday, and now these are all the stories from today. Iraq state leader. Islamic State leader for Iraq and Syria killed. Sucks to fucking suck. Get fucked on. What are your names so I can call you out by name and tell you? Get fucked on. What are your names? The head of Islamic State in Iraq and Syria have been killed in Iraq in an operation by members of the Iraqi National Intelligence Service along with U.S.-led coalition forces, the Iraqi Prime Minister announced Friday. The Iraqis continue their impressive victories over the forces of darkness and terrorism, Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani said in a statement posted on X. Abdallah Maki. Oh, hold on. That statement's pointless. Oh, these are the dudes. Abdallah Maki Mosleh al-Riafi al-Rafai or Abu Khadija. We're gonna go there. Jesus Christ! You should have led with the easier one first, instead of making a motherfucker just butcher all of that. Abu Khadija was deputy caliph of the militant group and as one of the most dangerous terrorists in Iraq and the world. Huh. Okay. So we just be given these titles out? I don't think we agree, but the security officials said the operation was carried out by an airstrike in Anbar province in western Iraq. Second official said the operation took place Thursday night, but that al-Rafai's death was confirmed Friday. They spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to comment publicly. Well, good. Fuck that guy. And fuck the other guy that got fucked on too by an airstrike. That's what you get for fucking around. I don't know what you were doing, but you've been labeled a terrorist by half the planet. Get fucked on. I don't need to read anything else. I will smile happily as I think about your death tonight as I lay in bed getting ready to fall asleep. Maybe I can find a video of the airstrike and quite possibly masturbate to it. Alright. I didn't really want to stay on that one too much. There's always going to be a dead idiot that thought he was God before he died. Don't need to really focus on these losers too much. Putin says he supports U.S. proposal for 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. U.S. proposal for 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. And that man has been in office for how long? For how long? Trump. Been in office for how long? We're already talking about a 30-day ceasefire. How long was the other geriatric bastard in there and did nothing? Actually, he didn't do nothing. Here's money. Here's stuff. Here's more money. Here's more stuff. Here's all the money. Here's all the stuff. And then we're going to proceed to lose half of it and lose track of half of it. But you got some, right? I'm not trying to talk shit, man, but clearly one motherfucker is doing stuff and the other motherfucker did nothing. That's all I'm saying. Did nothing. And it's written all over all the articles, man. All the articles. Russian President Vladimir Putin said Thursday that he agrees in principle with the U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine, but the terms need to be worked out, and he emphasized that it should pave the way to lasting peace. You're the one that started this shit. Shouldn't you also be responsible for trying to provide lasting peace, Putin? You jackweasel? Just the way he said that just irked me. It's not all on us. Why does it always... the way he said it almost makes it seem like it's all on us. Yeah, as long as America does all the shit, yep, I'm good for peace. Bitch, you started it. You should also have a hand in this. You should also try. Not just leave it all up to the Americans. Why does everything get left up to us? Why do we have to keep babysitting you motherfuckers? The world's babysitter, huh? And we just got that title, huh? It just slapped it on us. We didn't even ask for it. The world's babysitter. Like, quit talking like we owe you. Yo, we're doing this because the rest of the world also wants this to happen. Quit making it seem like we needed to have done this fucking... Quit acting like we work for you. Just what it seems like. The terms need to be worked out. He emphasized that it should pave the way to lasting peace. Bitch, we don't work for you. You need to do some shit for lasting peace as well. You started this shit, jackass. So the idea itself is correct, and we certainly support it, Putin told a news conference in Moscow. Interesting. You couldn't even be fucked to come up with this on your own. But it benefits you, huh? But there are issues that we need to discuss. There's always issues. And I think that we need to discuss it with our American colleagues and partners. He noted the need to develop a mechanism to control possible breaches of the truce. Another issue, he said, is whether Ukraine could use the 30-day ceasefire to rearm. Of course. Of course. Why wouldn't they? That'd be idiotic not to reload. When you have the time. We agree with the proposals to halt fighting, but we proceed from the assumption that the ceasefire should lead to lasting peace and remove the root causes of the crisis. I think the root cause of the crisis is to get Russia the fuck out of Ukraine, right? Because didn't Russia invade Ukraine? Isn't that where Putin comes in? Get off your bald fucking ass and do something, right? I don't know. I'm not that geopolitically savvy, so I mean, this is just fucking a moron reading this, but it seems pretty fucking simple to me, right? I don't know. I didn't go to college, and I'm not a biologist, but doesn't it seem pretty... It always seems easy to me. But when you've never actually had to pull the trigger, it's more complicated, isn't it? Isn't it? When you're doing something without a weapon, it's always harder, right? It's so easy to just blow somebody away. Let's see. Putin made the remarks just hours after the arrival of Trump's envoy in Moscow for talks on the 30-day ceasefire that Ukraine has also accepted. Perfect. The diplomatic effort coincided with a Russian claim that its troops have driven the Ukrainian army out of the key town in Russia's Kursk border region, where Moscow has been trying for 7 months to dislodge Ukrainian troops from their foothold. What is it that they want out of that region again? Water? Didn't all this start because of water? Or some shit? Putin said it appeared that the U.S. persuaded Ukraine to accept a ceasefire and that Ukraine is interested. The Ukraine is interested because of the battlefield situation, particularly in Kursk. Referring to the Ukrainian troops in Kursk, he said, "Will all those who are there come out without a fight?" Putin thanked U.S. President Donald Trump for paying so much attention to the settlement in Ukraine. He also thanked the leaders of China, India, Brazil, South Africa for their noble mission to end the fighting. A statement that signaled those countries' potential involvement in a ceasefire deal. Out of everything I read, why does it feel like Russia? Why does it feel like Russia started a fight with someone? And like, Russia started a fight with someone and then really expected the whole damn world to cater to. Why couldn't this be achieved months ago? Why couldn't this be achieved last year? Why? Because of Biden. Why couldn't this be achieved the year before that? Why? Because of Biden. But it just feels like Putin started a fight with someone and literally expected the whole goddamn planet to be on retainer for him to get this issue resolved. It's almost like, Putin, you need to stop the war. Well, until you guys do the thing, I don't know what I gotta do this. Until y'all come over and we have a conversation, and until y'all we sit in a big circle, sing some kumbaya. Until that happens, bitch. Did it really take the whole world playing babysitter and the whole world being like, hey, we'd probably stop this. Y'all started a fight with someone and are expecting the bouncers to protect you from any future fight. You went to the club, you started a fight with someone, and then for some fucking reason, the bouncers are having a conversation with the person that you just beat their ass. So you go to the club, you beat someone's ass, and instead of the bouncers fucking with you, instead they go to the person that you just fought, you broke their nose, blacked their eye. They go to that person and start asking them questions and being like, hey, what do you think we could do to make sure that he doesn't beat your ass again? Instead of just going to Russia and being like, hey, you should probably stop this. Why? Because there's better ways. And if there's not a better way, can we remind you that we're stronger than you? Please? For all of us, sweetheart? Let us just remind you that we're stronger than you. We always will be. We always have been. So, 30-day ceasefire. Sound good? Right? You really don't want us to get violent, do you? Last thing you want is for America to get emotional. That had to have been what it was. And if it wasn't, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going with that unless I get proven wrong or unless I get educated otherwise. Because otherwise, it's so stupid. I'm gonna go with that. America stepped in and said, hey, we're stronger than you, cut the shit out or we'll fuck on you. What else could they have said? What else could they have said? What else could they have said that couldn't have been said again last year, the year before, a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, right? So until we know, I'm under the assumption that America went over there, laid their dick on the table, and said, hey, do you remember what we did to Japan? Please don't make us do that again. Not to you. We got a good thing going here. Do you want to pull your head out of your Russian ass just a little bit? I'm going with that. I'm going with that. The Russian Defense Ministries claim that it recaptured the town of Sudza, a Ukrainian operation hub in Kursk, came hours after Putin visited commanders in Kursk. The claim could not be independently verified. Ukrainian officials made no immediate comment. The renewed Russian military push and Putin's high-profile visit to his troops unfolded as Trump seeks diplomatic end to the war, which began more than 3 years ago. And how does it feel? It can't feel good either, Putin. How does it feel? Does it not feel emasculating, bro? Imagine your car breaks down. Your car breaks down. You're a man, and your car breaks down, and you have all the tools necessary to change your tire, but you don't know how. And you have to have another man come do it for you. You know how emasculating that would be? You know how embarrassing that would be? Right? I know how I look at it. Imagine another man changing your tire. Imagine another man making your girl climax, right? Imagine another man stepping foot into your house and fixing all the appliances that have been fucked up, right? That's how Putin should feel right now. Really? Coming in there, fixing your fucking problem that you caused, that you started. Coming in there, doing everything you should be doing. Trying to solve the problem. Trying to progress. Trying to stop people from dying. Another man had to step in and do what you could have at any time done, Putin. Yikes. Another man had to step into your house and fix it. Yikes, Russia. Yikes. When you look at it like that, that's embarrassing. I don't know how else to put it. When you look at it that way, it's embarrassing. Another man had to come into your house to fix the issues. Big fucking yikes, and y'all are a superpower, huh? At least y'all claim. People like to say that about your country. Superpower. Russia, yeah. I don't see it, bro, and I don't think I ever have. I don't... Let's see. Trump said Wednesday that it's up to Russia now. I've done all I can do. I've cleaned the bathrooms, I've cleaned the living room, I've mowed the lawn. I've done everything I can do to make sure that this is presentable. Now let's just hope that this turd bag doesn't shit all over the fucking carpet. Let's see. That's all I get from this, bro. And it's so tedious and stupid that it's still going on when really this motherfucker could have ended this forever ago. But it takes another fucking leader to do it for him. Imagine, again, like, what good are you if it takes Trump to fix your issues, your problems in your country? Technically, we should own your country then. If we're having to fix everything, it should be ours, right? If I see a stray dog and I feed it, the dog's mine now. I fed it. No one else was claiming it. No one else seems to give a fuck about Russia. Even the people in Russia. We're the ones that care. Why is that? We're the ones doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We're the ones doing all the paperwork and the phone calls and the late night visits. It kind of feels like the country should be ours if we're the ones doing everything for it. Right? That's just me. But we're not doing the work for nothing, right? We're not doing the work for nothing. I mean, we accomplished this, people stop dying. I mean, but it's the world, so people always die regardless. But at least they won't be dying to combat, so... I don't understand. Ukraine has expressed its own concerns that Russia would use a truce to regroup and rearm. That's funny because that's exactly what they think you're doing. Ukrainian President Zelensky chided Russia on the Telegram messaging app Thursday for what he said was its slow response to the ceasefire proposal, accusing Moscow of trying to delay any peace deal. He said that Ukraine is determined to move quickly towards peace and hoped U.S. pressure would compel Russia to stop fighting. I know exactly what will get Russia to stop fighting, but the American people won't like it. The American people won't want to do it. I know exactly what would get Russia to stop fighting. Right now, Russia is fighting. Right now, Russia is fighting. They're fighting the equivalent of like an 8th grade basketball player. They're playing against an 8th grade basketball player, right? In Ukraine. That's what they're fighting against. They're competing against an 8th grade basketball player. What is America to Ukraine in that regard? We funded them, we helped them, blah blah blah. We would support them in a fight. So, if Ukraine is that 8th grade basketball player, what do you think America is? We're Michael fucking Jordan, bitch! That's it. We're Michael Jordan, and that's the way. Really. That's always my way, man. Really. Nothing like a good gun to the forehead to get someone to do what you want them to do. It's worked for thousands of years, and it still works today, depending on who you do it to. Is it risky to do that to Russia? Maybe. But they're not going to bite back with any fucking ballistic missiles or nukes. So, really, because they know self-preservation, and they also know about mutually assured destruction, they ain't going to do that. Guess what they're going to do? Yes, America, we will oblige, because, like you said, and you weren't lying when you said it, you are the baddest, you are the strongest. I guess we'll just let this go, because letting this go is better than fighting it out with you. We could do that, but the American people don't like that. They're not going to want to do that. But think of how much we could get done if we started doing that more. Think of how much we could fix if we started doing that more. Right there to the forehead. Comply or go. Only to the people that deserve it. I'm not talking about taking over innocent places and fucking killing people. I'm just saying, in situations like this, comply or get fucked on, man, by the world's finest. But we're not going to do that. The U.S. still has about $3.8 billion in congressionally authorized funding for future arms shipments to Ukraine. But the Trump administration has shown no interest so far in using that authority to send additional weapons as it awaits for the outcome of peace overtures. Yeah, there's no... Why would you send stuff when the possibility of peace is on the horizon? Then you just sent stuff for no reason, and you lost out on equipment you could have used yourself and or money. By signaling its openness to a ceasefire at a time when the Russian military has the upper hand in the war, does it? The memory of y'all's tanks getting stolen by farmers is still pretty fresh in my head. But sure, we can use the term upper hand. Wouldn't want to upset Russia. Ukraine has presented the Kremlin with a dilemma, whether to accept a truce and abandon hopes of making new gains, which I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck those gains are. I really did think it was water. Or reject the offer and risk derailing a cautious rapprochement with Washington. The Ukrainian army's foothold inside Russia has been under intense pressure for months from the renewed effort by Russian forces backed by North Korean troops. You little bitches. That can't be good help, though. It's North Korea. That help can't be all that great. It's North Korea. That can't be good. Ukraine's daring incursion last August led to the first occupation of Russian soil by foreign troops since World War II and embarrassed the Kremlin. Well, there you go. You may not win. Russia will win the war, but they lost a lot of key battles that were either embarrassing to them or just exposed them for not being very, very good warfighters. So, you know, kind of like what Whiplash told Tony Stark in Iron Man 2. I don't need to kill you. I just need to make you bleed. And if you can make God bleed, the sharks will come. The same thing that King Leonidas did to King Xerxes. He could have killed them. Bro, those spears, they're accurate like on a dime. They're the most accurate spear chuckers in history. He could have killed Xerxes. He chose not to because he wanted to prove that even a god can bleed. And when you do that, people lose faith. There you go. So Russia will probably win this war. Maybe. I don't know. In the case of a ceasefire. Is there a loser? Is there a winner? And what happens after the ceasefire? They go back to fighting? That's exhausting. Right? So, may win the war, Russia, but you got a couple of chinks in that armor that need fixing. For sure. Speaking to commanders Wednesday, Putin said that he expected the military to completely free the Kursk region from the enemy in the nearest future. Wearing military fatigues, Putin added that, I wish I could see Trump in military fatigues. That would be fucking awesome. That'd be hilarious. Not in like a let's make fun of him way, but just like in just a hilarious way. Because I wouldn't put it past... The man was on WWE. I wouldn't put it past him to wear fatigues for like a State of the Union. With some eye black and get like a Special Forces guy to do his camouflage and everything. And he dresses like that for the State of the Union. I'd watch that State of the Union. If he had fatigues and fucking camo on, I'd do that. I'd watch that. That'd be great. You keep the suit, yeah. That's honestly, I feel like the suit should be an away jersey. And anytime the president is here stateside, keep it casual, man. Maybe some jeans. Maybe a shirt that says "Keep calm, chive on." I don't know, but like, the second you leave the comfort of this country, yeah, put the suit on. You're representing America. But while you're here, I feel like we could have like a permanent casual Friday, as far as like the dress wear for government. It might get everything to stop being so fucking stuffy, and all fucking weird and dumb. That'd be great. Wearing military fatigues, Putin added that it's necessary to think about creating a security zone alongside the state border, in a signal that Moscow could try to expand its territorial gain by capturing parts of Ukraine's neighboring Sumy region. That idea could complicate a ceasefire deal. That's more than I want to continue to keep reading. Because I don't think that the Institute for the Study of War, a Washington-based think tank, assessed late Wednesday that Russian forces were in control of Sudza, a town close to the border that previously was home to about 5,000 people. Not home to those people no more. Or maybe it is. And Russia just owns it. I don't know. Ukraine's top military commander, General Syrsky, said Russian aircraft had carried out an unprecedented number of strikes on Kursk and that as a result, Sudza had been almost completely destroyed. Okay, so what's happening here? Ukraine launched the raid in a bid to counter the increasingly grim news from the front lines, as well as to draw Russian troops away from the battlefield inside Ukraine and to gain a bargaining chip in any peace talks. But the incursion did not significantly change the dynamic of the war. So you got people in Washington thinking that Russia fully controls Sudza, a town that used to be inhabited by 5,000 people, and then Ukraine's top military commander is stating that a Russian aircraft had carried out airstrikes on Kursk and that Sudza was completely destroyed. So are you currently in control of Sudza, or did you destroy it? Because if it's gone, you're not in control of anything. You're just in a destroyed region. There's nothing to control. It's gone. Unless you can still have some semblance of control just based on your tactical locations on where y'all are. Y'all can use where y'all are as a tactical advantage, right? Even though there's nothing left to be had there. Just weird the way that is. Some are saying it was somewhere. Some are saying fully controlled. Others saying fully destroyed. You don't control what's not there. Meanwhile, Major General Krasilnikov, commander of Ukraine's Northern Operation Command, which includes the Kursk region, was dismissed from his post. A major general was dismissed from his post. By who? He told Ukrainian media outlet Suspaline on Wednesday. He told the outlet that he was not given a reason for his dismissal, saying, "I'm guessing, but I don't want to talk about it yet." Damn. Something's happening if something is happening if someone of that high rank is getting dismissed from his post. That means that someone's lying about the Kursk region. Someone's lying and or telling the truth. I don't know. That wasn't as interesting as I thought it was going to be. That one was kind of boring to me. But then again, the Ukraine-Russia war is kind of boring to me. Okay. Before we continue, did y'all put anything on the list? Excluding that hour-long one. I can find a Fat Electrician video that's shorter than an hour and 18 minutes, Vince. We still haven't watched that one about the raising. Can we do some fat? Well, you don't want to do fat files. You want to do like the full-length movies. And that's like... I think you're the only one here that wants to do the full-length movies out of everyone that shows up. Is there any way, anyhow, that there is a video by Fat Electrician that exists, that interests you, that is not the same length as the Snyder Cut? Any chance at all that there is any Fat Electrician video that interests you that is not as long as The Irishman? I seriously doubt that's the case, unless we've watched everything. And if that's the case, that means that the video you requested's got to be recent, right? Because if we haven't watched everything, that means that there's still videos to be had that are not 3.5 hours. So, therefore... America's Quickest Invasion. That one's 27 minutes. Doom Turtle, America's Only Super Heavy Tank. That's 12 with 2 million views. Gotta be interesting, and no one's ever requested it. Probably because it's only 12 minutes. What good could we possibly get out of 12 minutes, right? It's gotta be an hour. The male cat. Okay, I want to go back to the... Oh no! Call of Duty could be cooked. Say it isn't so. That's only the 7,397,467th post I've seen saying the same thing about Call of Duty for the 27th year in a row. Do y'all ever get tired of saying the same thing? Call of Duty's cooked. Call of Duty's over. Call of Duty's wrecked. Call of Duty's dead. Call of Duty's dying. Yeah, no shit. That's been the case for years. Just a whole bunch of regurgitation, though. With just new words. Cooked. What happened to fucked? Oh, and then the new phrase that the stupid ass children are using. Crash out. I don't even know what the fuck that means. He crashed out. Oh, you mean he lost his mind? He went crazy? He went insane? He shot up the whole office? Nope. More cringe from Gen Z. Crash out. Jesus Christ. English motherfuckers. I'm gonna go smoke. Fucking hate you, Gen Z. Y'all retarded. That's fucking awful. Alright. I do want to watch... this Angry Cops video. Just have to, man. Let me see what else is in my feed. I don't... the greatest troll of all time. White comedians skit trolls sensitive people. That's a Hodge Twins video. Firing the Lorentz plasma cannon. Angry cops got sent home from work for this. If there is a timestamp for that, I mean, I'll kind of put that. I'll put that in the watch later. We'll see. Dude, Jetpack Joyride. That game is so much fun. I was looking for that game earlier. Wait, what? Streaming will never be the same again? She's not even real? Hold on. We're gonna put that in the watch later as well. Imagine I go live and you guys see me. Y'all think y'all are seeing me, but really y'all aren't seeing me. Y'all are just seeing an AI version of me that is so realistic that y'all don't notice. Fucking imagine. Oh, Michael Knowles did a try not to laugh. Dark humor TikToks, Michael Knowles reacts. You laugh, you lose. It's been a while since we've done React Inception, where we react to someone else reacting, but really I would just be watching the clips. Maybe I haven't seen the clips before. Maybe the clips make me laugh. I don't know. Put that on a watch later. Shit, I'm on the wrong. Wait, what? Dude, hell no. No. I mean, no. Well, nah, I think it's good the way it is. Only works as a state. Trump vows not to bend on tariffs until Canada is absorbed into the US. Bro, fuck that. No, then we better be the leader of them, because ain't no way they're just gonna get absorbed and then they still get to keep that stupid bastard they have in office. Nah, if that happens, there is one person in office, and that is the president, and he is the president of that too. Would we even change the name of man? Hell no, that's pointless. No, no. I think it's good. But I mean, I'd get to visit Canada. Quite possibly even, I don't know, man, move there. Nah, I could never live in Canada. It's probably an amazing place. Or maybe it's not. Probably has nice places. Maybe it doesn't. Probably has some good features. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I know what it does have. A lot of cold. A lot of cold. More cold than what I'm willing to deal with. So yeah, nah. But and I guess the only reason I'm saying no to it is if they're gonna get absorbed, man, they can't have a leader. Their leader has to be our leader. We all have to have the same leader. You can't just have like. And if it's a state, I guess it would keep the it would keep the name Canada.
Imagine it becomes a state and we decide to change it. Oh, Lord. That'd be wild. I had to read that because I didn't know. All right. We're doing this. Oh, I missed that. Doesn't matter because I can. Anything. Awesome to remember.
Well, happy birthday to.
All right.
Well, happy birthday to us, not because it's our actual birthday, but because there's gonna be a lot of cake in this video. Why? Well, because the New York City Police Department Special Victims Unit detective played a starring role in a rap video as a stripper.
Now you have my attention.
And this detective really got into character because she's wearing the right uniform for the job, if you get what I'm saying. A bikini top and a thong. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm surprised because the internet has a sickness for this detective's thickness. Back to you, Donut. But before we get into how this detective decided to...
I do like me some good old cake, especially girls that, you know, sometimes they have the whole fucking bakery and shit. And yeah, so I'm surprised I haven't heard about this either. I do like me some thickness.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm surprised because the internet has a sickness for this detective's thickness. Back to you, Donut. But before we get into how this detective decided to shake your money maker, first, a word from this video's sponsor. Whether it's somebody hacking into that company's network, other companies buying it and selling it, or even governments getting their sticky little fingers involved, you need to protect your personal identity.
You just had a tornado warning. Jesus. It's a good thing I can read Hillbilly, actually.
Identification, and that's where this video's sponsor comes in. Aura. Aura keeps you safe online. It identifies data brokers that are selling my information online, and it stops it. So every time, let's learn a little bit about this detective. Meet Detective Mercado. Came onto the...
Damn, bro, and she's got the DSLs too to go with it. She's got multiple amazing sets of lips, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen the southern ones, but I'm assuming. Just assuming.
Job in 2018, and for the past 3 years has been a detective in NYPD's Special Victims Unit. Hey, I'm an SVU detective, but I don't look nearly as...
Yo, maybe she was like undercover or something, and someone blew her cover. She was dancing in a rap video, and like she was trying to like get some information on Lil Chico, and Lil Chico was the camera guy, and Lil Chico was slanging drugs and shit to fucking hookers, and mainly just hookers, and was killing them. She was undercover as a sleut, shaking her ass all around town, trying to get information. I don't know, man. I really just described Deborah Morgan from Dexter, her character that she did. There was a couple episodes like that she did that.
Is good in a thong, or do I? And like many NYPD officers, detectives, lieutenants, supervisors, etc., Detective Mercado has a second job, a second front, some of us call it, because living in NYC ain't cheap, buddy. Hell, back in the day, the first thing that they would do after giving you your badge for NYPD's, tell you where the line was for food stamps. And having a side gig is no big deal. Hell, Eddie Money, I don't know if you know who the singer Eddie Money is. He was an NYPD cop while trying to kickstart his music career. How Steve Buscemi was a fireman.
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah. Dude, Steve Buscemi he didn't do firefighting anymore, I don't think. He had either quit or retired to do acting, but when 9/11 happened, he was currently acting, and he went back down to his old station, his old unit, and like literally helped with fire and rescue and all kinds of shit. It's a wild story, man. Yeah, about this dude. I love this guy. He's hilarious. He's in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. Christian, what's good?
while he was trying to kickstart his acting career. And if we fast forward from then to modern day, there's a ton of NYPD cops and firemen who use social media as their secondary gig. Check like no donuts here. Studley.
Like, dude, prime example right here. This is YouTube is Angry Cops' second gig, you know?
Handsome, shredded young man. Washboard abs and strong chin, full head of hair. I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
but let's
sounds
dig
like
a
it.
little bit deeper into Detective Mercado's second front. The music video that Detective Mercado's dancing in is Doing That by an artist named Esquire. And I don't know if I sound as white as I think I sound when I say doing that, or my New York accent's kicking in, even though I'm from Western New York. Doing that.
Doing that.
Doing that. I don't, that's, doing that. No, it's with an N, doing that.
Doing that.
What are you doing? How you doing? You doing that?
How
You
you
doing
doing?
that? I like the way you're doing that. And to be quite honest with you, it's really not that
God
bad of a song.
damn.
The music video already had a little over 1 million views when
Sweetie, you're a cop? Oh my god.
everybody caught wind of this. And the lyrics to it really aren't that bad. It's just
Yo, cue the fucking... Fuck Esquire. There's a song by Lil Wayne called Lady Cop, I think. Good lord. You're far too talented to be in law enforcement, I'll tell you that.
hey, I like your fat ass. Sometimes you drop that on me, and I like the way you're doing that. There's no grotesque description of sex or any sexual acts that are going on there. It's pretty mild. It's a
Angry Cops, we should start a video series where we go over rap lyrics, but we read the lyrics like your average white person, right? That'd be great. That'd be so much fun. Just read out the lyrics and enunciate every single letter.
G-rated version of you got a fat
Like, I'm going to kill you. Bitch, you don't want to fuck with me. Girl, please. You're just nothing but a slut to me. Bitch, I'ma kill you. You don't have the balls to beef. But I'll never stop beefing, so I'ma squash the beef. Bitch, I'ma kill you. I might be another rapper dead for popping off to the mouth with shit I shouldn't have said. Or will you kill me? Girl, you're nothing but a whore to me. Right? That's some Eminem, but without the flavor. That's just like super vanilla white bread Eminem right there. That's what we should do, man. That'd be so much fun. It's actually hard to do that. It's harder to do that than to actually just do it how he sounds. Imagine that.
ass and I really like it. Have a good day. So the controversy, if you want to call it that, is everybody arguing whether or not this is conduct unbecoming of a police officer. That's what all the hubbub's about. You got people in one group saying, hey, you can't be doing that as a detective or a police officer, let alone a detective in the Special Victims Unit, which usually deals with sex offenses and sexual abuse and trafficking.
Oh, yeah, that is true. I was looking at it more from a standpoint that it's not professional. It's just not. And I'm not going to play a double standard here. I will say that it would be just as unprofessional for a Navy SEAL to be a Chippendale on his fucking free time. Let's not do that. We're not doing that. Please don't do that, you know? So, it just, you know. But, I mean, if it's not against the rules, it's not harming anyone, it's not affecting the job or her performance. I mean, I don't know, but
trafficking, which often correlates with, you know, strip clubs and the sex industry. And there's also a group of other people that say she's not really a stripper, she's an actor in a music video portraying herself as a stripper, but it's acting. And it was all off the job. There's no NYPD badge, there's no statement about her being an NYPD cop, it's just her there.
Double cheeked up
God damn
on a
it.
Thursday afternoon.
We're gonna start telling people what they can and can't do outside of work. So
That's what I was gonna say. Like, the only thing is, she just got recognized. That was it. Could have been any girl. No one would have cared. But put two and two together.
Let me play devil's advocate here so we can understand both sides of the argument. Then I'll fill you in on where I fall. Let's kick it off with the people that are a little upset with the conduct on becoming a police officer here, that say that this gives NYPD a bad look. Let's be real about it. Let's take off the kid gloves and talk like men or women. There's a professional standard that you need in order to uphold when you're trying to protect and serve people in your community. And obviously there are lines that you can cross that once you cross them, the community's gonna look at you differently, and that can prevent you from being effective at your job.
But I've seen people look at police officers with tattoos as unprofessional. You know, that's why we had the rules we had in the service. You could only have certain parts of your body could be tattooed. And there were certain parts of your body that couldn't be tattooed because it took away from the professionalism. At one point, you couldn't get tattooed below the elbow. And now you see soldiers full-blown sleeves. Tattoos are kind of like just becoming this thing where like no one fucking cares anymore, right? No one cares as much as they did 50 years ago, 40 years ago, hell, even 20 years ago. You know, I feel like people are constantly becoming more and more progressive when it comes to tattoos, man. And like the old timers that just like seriously frown upon it, they're dying off, right? And there's not that many of them. You either like them or you don't have any, don't care for them, whatever, but you don't hate them, right? And you're not going to go out of your way to stop it. But it's almost like that. I've seen people frown upon tattoos, say they look unprofessional, but at the end of the day, my tattoos didn't hinder me from doing my job correctly. My tattoos didn't stop me from being able to perform. My tattoos also didn't stop me from showing up to work on time at all, whatsoever. So it doesn't matter how you look or how you present yourself off work hours. Are you good at your job? That's all I really need to know, man. Really. And with something like this, she was twerking in a rap video. There could be worse things that she could be doing. She could be one of those piece of shit ladies that lures young girls into a fucking van, and these young girls come because it's a lady luring them in. And young girls, they'll trust a female, a strange female, more oftentimes than they'll trust a strange male, right? So she could be doing that kind of shit, but she's not. She's just shaking her ass for a rap video. And I love when girls shake their ass if they can do it properly. Sometimes, some girls, they y'all look like y'all are having like a stroke when y'all try to twerk. But I don't know, if done properly, I like to see it, bro. No harm, no foul. And again, is she good at her job? That's the main thing. If she's good at it, there you go. That's all that matters. Like with the whole tattoo thing. Especially when it comes to military and law enforcement. Yo, dude, as long as you show up and you shoot at the fucking bad guy, I don't care what you have on your body. Really. Only a lame fucking loser would get hung up on what the fuck you look like if you're there to save one's life, right? Imagine. Law enforcement and military. Imagine getting butthurt about what they look like, yet they're the ones keeping the enemy at bay. You want to do it yourself? All right, then shut the fuck up about tattoos and shit. I'm getting carried away, but you know what I'm talking about. Why does this keep happening? What is wrong with this mouse?
I'll give you an example. Let's say that you did OnlyFans content and were sucking in on screen on the internets, and then you were also a cop. Your ability to properly police and assist people in the community could be affected. How? How could they be affected? Are you serious? Let's just say that you've got a bunch of teenagers that are in a parking lot or a mall and they're doing something, you tell them to leave. All they have to do is show you sucking, getting railed, or giving it to some granny on the internet saying, "Isn't this you?" And you're a laughing stock. Nobody's gonna listen to the guy or girl that gets or is fucking on camera when they're telling them, "Hey, you need to clean up your life, otherwise you're gonna go to jail and really make some big mistakes," says the person.
Yeah, but really at the end of the day, that's just heckling. If you broke the law, the arresting officer, it doesn't matter if the arresting officer was just in a triple gangbang on Brazzers.com. You broke the law, and that officer has every legal right to detain you, put you in cuffs, put you in jail, cite you, the whole nine. So it doesn't really matter. You're essentially dealing with hecklers. The same logic could be applied to the one kid who's, I don't know, 12 years old. His mom does OnlyFans, and he has to go to school and get teased about it by his friends. Yeah. I feel like that would be worse than being a cop that does OnlyFans and getting teased about the fact that taking dick every other Thursday on camera. I don't know, man. It's just like, you break the law, you break the law. It doesn't, the arresting officer matters not. You going to jail, man. You beat the shit out of your wife, you're going to jail. It doesn't matter if the arresting officer is a drag queen and just finished a fucking show at Cirque du Soleil. You going to jail. So...
with 15 million views of jizz on their chin? You think the Muslim Community Center is really gonna want Linda Lovelace coming in there with her face glistening? You think that a victim of sexual assault or sexual abuse is gonna look a little differently at a special victims unit, detective, or even the patrol officer that's coming to talk to them and being like,
or Mia Khalifa? They would not accept her at all.
I was trafficked, I was sexually abused, and you're promoting the that like hurt me? What? Yeah, that could be a bad day. Or if you go even further, it's gonna be hard for a cop to arrest people that are doing heroin when he himself is smoking heroin. Looking at you, LA. Or meth, I think it was meth. So let's not be naive and think that
we gotta watch that.
What we do outside of the job of being a police officer or civil servant can in no way negatively affect how the public perceives you and how you're able to do your job. Trust me, I know.
Angry Cops has a history of misconduct allegations.
You make fun of people on the internet. Do you really think you can do a job like, you know, protecting and serving? Yeah.
Yeah, because when we were protecting and serving, guess who we were making fun of? All of you fuckers back home. All of you dumbasses from Jersey Shore and fucking like all of this shit that was on TV, the Kardashians, making fun of all of y'all when we were deployed. And if we're not making fun of y'all, we're making fun of ourselves. Really. That's the name of the game. Talk shit. That's it. That's all we do. Talk shit all day to each other. If not to us, to you. Someone's gonna get it. Yeah, what'd you think this was? Either some fucking pogue or some jackass who's never served. It's always some jackass who's never served. It's just like, I can't believe y'all talk like this to one another. Yeah, man. I mean... when death is on the table, we kind of play it fast and loose with fucking profanity, you know what I'm saying? Gives a shit. Nobody.
Make fun of people on the internet. Do you really think you could do a job like, you know, protecting and serving? Yeah. If Tulsi Gabbard could be the head of our intelligence services, she can still run a reserve drill sergeant unit. So what? And she's on TV far more than I am. How about whenever I'm off the job, you politely f off and treat me like everybody else? Yeah. Let's go there. Now, the NYPD officer, No Donuts here, the Instagram account, physical fitness guy, right? You think there's a whole bunch of people out there in the physical fitness world? And like, what's the difference between a woman shaking her ass on stage in a music video, acting, and you and the girls going out to the beach and shaking your ass and posting it on your own personal Instagram? Now, I know being a stripper and just having a good time with your friends out on the beach are two different things, but it's almost this.
What's the difference? What's the difference between this female officer shaking her ass and that gym guy flexing his abs in front of the camera? Because while that gym dude flexing his abs does nothing for us dudes, it does something for the females watching. Duh. Right? Imagine that. Females watch that. Females watch gym guys work out and do that shit. Duh, right? So what gets us going, which is a thick shaking ass, he's essentially doing the same thing, but it's in a different setting. Flexing his abs, lifting weights, working out, all this stuff. And granted, it's different because he's actually teaching you something, or he has the capacity to teach you something. This female officer shaking her ass has the capacity to teach you nothing. This guy can actually put you on a diet. I mean, but then again, that girl's so bad, she might make you want to go on a diet just to spread them apart. Right? So, that seems like the same thing. I don't really see a problem.
Same end game here, right? You got somebody.
Last Breath is captivating critics everywhere.
Like I'm saying, like, I've seen worse. It could be worse.
He's gone. No, he's
shaking their ass in a bathing suit on a stage. You got somebody shaking their ass in a bathing suit on the beach. Both of them get uploaded to the internet. One's emulating sex intentionally because stripper, duh, we're not naive. But if you were to just take out the environment, and even then, she's not a real stripper, it's a music video.
Yeah.
It's acting. She looks and is acting like a stripper because that's what the music video.
Because they can dance like that. You don't have to be a stripper to know how to dance like that. Bro, I've met some girls that can dance provocative as fuck that have never, not once, been on a pole ever. Man, they're never worked inside of a strip club. They just can dance like that. They know how. Either they practice it or they just saw it 1 or 2 times and can just emulate it very, very well. Kind of like that one dude that can do the moonwalk, man. You can't do it, but he can, right? You don't have to be a stripper to know how to dance this way. Or to know how to move this way.
Video's asking her to do. And how far is this gonna go? How many hobbies can a job?
I imagine there's a lot of coping ass ladies. She's got to be a stripper. No, just because you can't shake your ass like that, don't mean she's.
Say, hey, we don't want you to do when you're off duty and we have no control over you. How much control over you should you give a job? So much control that what you do when you're not working at that job, they can still fire you for? And now let's be real here. Neutral ground. How is it going to look in the public eye if NYPD says, hey, you were acting like a stripper. You weren't really one, but you acted like one. That's bad and we don't like that. Well, what about people who are actually strippers in your community that you police? Are they bad people now? Are you supposed to shun them for their totally legal job? How is that gonna assist you in any sort of actual trafficking or sexual abuse, which does happen around strip clubs?
I could understand if like her whole ass second job was at a strip club and she stripped. But that's not the case. The music video could be a one-time thing, or it could be like a monthly thing, man. I don't know. A lot of these girls, sometimes they be in the same music videos. Sometimes you don't tell because you don't look at their face because you're too busy looking at tits and ass. But look at a lot of the music videos over the years. Sometimes you'll see some of the same chicks. It just depends, right? But
clubs, are they gonna feel comfortable going to NYPD officers now knowing that NYPD heads are like, strippers aren't real people and they're inappropriate? Get this lady out of here for just pretending to be like one. Now here's my 2 cents about the whole thing. Yeah, portraying yourself as a stripper is not known to be the most honest and cleanly job. You think Cardi B is something you want to emulate? She bragged about drugging men and stealing money from them while stripping. And was like, oh, all of us do that all the time. You see how emulating that lifestyle?
and stupid ass females still idolize her. I don't even understand why. I don't even understand why. And then want to turn, and I'm not saying like, and then turn around and want to give motherfuckers shit about like following Andrew Tate. You follow Cardi B. Please. Fucking spare me. I'm not sitting here like talking good or anything about Andrew Tate or saying like he's the bee's knees or like the greatest, but I'm just saying ladies will talk shit about dudes that follow Andrew Tate. Yet turn around and listen to everything fucking Cardi B says and take it as gospel. Fuck out of my face, ladies. Y'all retarded. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, man. Young ass girls too, which they're young. They'll eventually grow up and realize they're retarded. But the older ladies following Cardi B, shame. What is it? Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Could be looked at poorly to your law enforcement world. I think we can all understand that. Isn't the #1 rule for dads, good dads, to keep your daughter off the pole?
My only job in life is to keep her off the pole.
As long as she stays off the pole. As long as she stays off the pole, I've done my job. So let's not pretend that being a stripper is just this awesome job that has no negative repercussions or stereotypes or anything that comes with it. But at the same time, she's not really a stripper.
No.
How involved are jobs gonna get in somebody's off-duty life? If it's not illegal and you're consenting adults,
Fuck off.
who gives a shit what you do for a secondary job? And even if, like most departments, and NYPD does this too, she filled out a form that says, hey, I'm requesting that I have a second place of employment because I don't make enough money here, or I want to make more money and make my life better because of all the taxes that New York City has. Congestion tax. Kathy Hochul's a retard. She's not gonna put, I'm gonna be a pretend stripper. She's gonna say, I'm gonna be an actress in music videos, or I'm gonna be an actress for this production company. So I say, take that thing. And hey, detective, if you ever get tired of getting harassed by the job, I'm sure that there are a dozen B-list basketball players that are more than willing to fucking pick you up and take you away from all this and put you up in a mansion.
Because you're famous now.
And if you do get in trouble, you've got one hell of a meet.
You're famous now because a whole bunch of people that didn't know who you were now know who you are, so.
Me-Too movement, workplace harassment suit going on here just because you're a woman walking around being a model or actress. This is such a nothing burger. I
mean, I look at it from the other perspective too. Like, would I really give a shit if a male police officer got off work and went back to his house and, I don't know, man, made content for Pornhub? Whatever that content is, use your imagination, but made content for Pornhub when he got off work. That's what he did. Made decent money doing it too. Would I care? No. Man. And if he pulls me over, this is the best part about being a guy. If he pulls me over, I'll never even know it's him. You wanna know why? I don't look at faces when I watch pornography. Definitely not at the face of a fucking dude, right? Sometimes I'll glance at the chick just to make sure she doesn't look like Rachel Zegler. But yeah, I never glance at the fucking guy. Yeah, so it's just like, you want to do that, bro? Go ahead, man. I'll never know. I'll never see it. If I do, I didn't see your face. And we'll never talk about it because that's how dudes are. We won't even come up with a topic of discussion for any reason, so.
I pray NYPD does something so stupid as to go after you for making money on the side because you're thick and you got fake eyelashes and your lips done and you want to show them off. Like,
That's
can
the
we all
one.
just grow up? Either way, probably don't want to pretend to be a stripper shaking your ass anymore in the next production. Okay, detective? Maybe we don't need this type of attention. Maybe our acting.
But what if it was a TV show or a movie where the main character is going through a club or a strip club and she is up here dancing? Is it different because now it's a TV show or a movie? I think people think of rap video as something derogatory or negative. A music video, a rap video, bro, it's essentially a 3-minute movie. That's it. It's a 3-minute movie / musical. That's it. You got a director, you got the actors, you got the script, you got direction, you got cameras, you got lights, you got a set. That is a fucking movie. It's just really, really fast. And it has music. That's it. So what is the difference, really? What if she was shaking her ass in a Martin Scorsese movie? Let's just say that Martin Scorsese put a twerk scene, or there just so happened to be ass shaking in the background of the film. Would that make it different? Would that make it better with people? Like, oh shit, she was in a Scorsese movie, man. She can shake that ass. Fuck it. I like his movies. But because it's a rap video, no one really knows I don't even know who the fuck Esquire is. Right? But because it's a rap video, I guess people look at it as derogatory. Would you look at it as derogatory if it was a TV show? Or a movie? I've seen plenty of naked tits and ass in movies and TV shows. People just call that art. They don't call the actual actresses sluts. They were just doing a job. So if an actress can get away with being naked or showing ass or tits, and people call it artistic and say that she's just doing her profession, what's the difference here? Plenty of actresses have shown their tits in movies. Were they being promiscuous? Were they being whores? Were they being... No. They were working. So maybe some people just don't know the concept of that, right? Okay.
Career goes in a different direction, because I wouldn't be surprised if you got a little bit more flack from this. And by the way, getting flack from this isn't a reason to start some sort of harassment campaign.
No, it's not.
If you want to shake your ass in the middle of the dance floor and your thought
You got all of my permission. You got all of my support.
In a music video, don't be so dumb to think that you're not going to get a little bit of blowback. All right, Mrs. Officer.
She got me thinking I could date a cop.
Best way to support the channel is get yourself a shirt. Check out these shirts that I have. Oh my God. Look at them. They're amazing.
Yeah.
You can wear them and people will like you more for them. Cheapest way to support the channel is to leave a comment. What do you think, right? Do you think that, hey, it's off duty, who cares? Or are you like, don't be stupid, lady. You know exactly how this looks. This looks dumb. And you're making the job look less classy. It's already difficult to make it look classy. All right. See you next time, weirdos.
Would anybody care if this girl was military? Probably not. Wow. I guess people feel that cops should be more professional than our military. Because I feel like there's so many military chicks on OnlyFans. And I feel like I don't really care. Really. That's just... And if military chicks were going into music videos and dancing and shit, I'm like, dude, good for you. Good for you. Try to find a way out of all of this. Right? There you go. Again, try to make the most of it. But I don't know. It's bro, I gotta go get something to eat. Just gonna go grab a snack real quick. I gotta where is it? Perfect. Oh my God. Please. Yeah, with this, I think I need a new mouse. Alright, there's something here about Chiseled Adonis that I was kind of interested in watching, but let me... Was it? Okay. Yeah, that's the one I was trying. That's the one I've been trying to watch, Vince. The Raisin Cartel. What I was trying to do. But I really do. I really do want to check out. Bro, I'm gonna go get me a banana and like some cookies. I'll be right back. I want to check out that Jizzle Adonis video. That just seems. I'm probably not even gonna watch the whole thing. I just want to get the gist of it. Yeah, I said fucking all the other stuff. I decided to get this. I made rice earlier, but that shit got cold. But I still had these leftover beans that were still warm, so with the beans. Okay. On us streaming whenever. I don't know if we'll watch this in its entirety, but I'm gonna find out.
The internet continues to get weirder by the day, and we've covered a number of different things, ranging from actual human beings trying to operate as NPCs. Some been very, very
which is fucking retarded to me. I hate it. I hate it.
Successful. Pinky Doll's gone on to reality television.
Most people know me from TikTok.
I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yo, ice cream so good, yes.
You seem exhausting as fuck, though. Really, to be honest. Like, I'd rather watch paint dry while I finger my butthole with razor blades. That's just me, though. Anyways, good luck with your future endeavors.
Popcorn, yes, popcorn. I was making 100K a month.
Stop it. Do you see this?
That Miles Morales dude has gone on to be on Kai Cenat stream.
Wow, is that a galaxy? I ain't enough for those. I might make it back to my own universe.
That shit makes me not even want to be alive. I'm existing at the same time as this buffoonery, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate that I'm existing at the same time as this buffoonery. 20 years earlier, 20 years later, I'd be dead and would have missed this.
Well, let's not do that again. Whoa! Seems like I went through a wormhole or something. Pretty sure I'm still in the same
What the fuck?
The only word I can think for that, bro, is literally gay. That's it, bro. That's all I can think of.
And a number of different people literally feeding their families off of being an NPC on TikTok. Then you had the introduction of that AI necklace, I believe the friend necklace.
I don't know how to woo very good. That's fair.
The fuck you mean? At least we're outside. I'm outside. You're not even real. What the fuck? Where you press a button, you speak into the necklace, and then you get generated text messages based off of what it was that you were talking about. Then to the...
So it's Siri? You have Siri? Cool, bro. I had Siri like 10 years ago. Congrats. Yeah, you ask it questions, it's... Is that supposed to be an accomplishment? I don't know.
Doja Spice page that I found on Instagram where there was an AI influencer that would generate some sort of explicit photos on their Patreon to where literally you got people paying to see AI generated scantily clad clothing. Lo and behold, this is an artificial influencer. First and foremost, how the fuck you gonna be an influencer if you're not even a real person? Who are you influencing? But then now, I think I may have stumbled upon some of the most bizarre findings in AI, because it appears that we're soon gonna have AI streamers? What? Oh, hell no! Hell no! This not even a real person. Look at her hand. It's going crazy on top of the keyboard. Then look at this lady doing an unboxing video. How you gonna unbox something when you not real? You got fake fitness influencers.
That's absurd. For what? Oh, no, man. I assume the people behind this are ugly with a horrible personality. Because otherwise, wouldn't it just be easy to do this yourself? To become a fitness influencer yourself? All you gotta do is work out. But nope. The people behind this, bro, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Ugly, bland personality. Otherwise, why would you not get on camera? Otherwise, why would you not be this person? Because you can never be this person. Because you don't look like this person. You don't sound like this person. Your real face probably looks like my ass with glasses. Like, that's all I get from this. It's pretty sad on the end of the people that are making this. Sad, bro. Almost feel bad for you. But, I mean, hey, with this, you'll have a girlfriend. I'm single, so you got me beat there, I suppose. Anyways.
You got fake beauty influencers. She's not a human being. Make it make sense. As a streamer, there's gonna come a point in which donations, subscriptions, memberships is gonna come across. You're gonna have people becoming a member to a motherfucking AI? That's crazy. That's like a robot trying to pose as a homeless person on motherfucking Skid Row.
Spare some change. Leave me alone, I don't have any change.
As a streamer, you have to be relatable. There's moments in which you have to talk to the audience about things that you have experienced. What the hell is an AI gonna talk to people about what they experienced today?
I mean, there's no way I could get away with AI. How would I even get away with that? I feel like y'all would know. I feel like if I stuck an AI version of myself on camera, y'all would know. One of y'all would notice. Maybe there's like one or two dumb ones in here that it wouldn't even like cross your mind. It wouldn't even like appear to you. But one, if not two of you would notice and then tell the rest, and then that would be it. Y'all would know. Because I react to stuff. I read stuff. I watch stuff. Can AI do that? Like, and like think of answers on the spot, pause during a video, answered something, be reminded of. AI doesn't get reminded. Like, I don't know. There's just like a lot of elements to being a streamer that I don't think AI can replace. Or that AI can mimic. It just can't. So, I feel like y'all would notice if I did that. And I feel bad for the people who would never notice. Because we talk about lazy content, which is content that I'd be making sometimes, but that right there is the epitome of lazy. But could you even call it lazy? Because it probably takes a lot of effort to create that AI to begin with. I don't know. It's just odd.
Hey, I was programmed to come onto the platform and talk to you. Look at the clothing that they chose for me. Take a look at these AI-generated breasts. Aren't they voluptuous? For only $9.99, you can become an exclusive subscriber on my own. Nobody wants to see that shit!
And now, a word from our sponsor.
All right, so boom. There's many memories from my childhood that I wish I could relive, like going to the store, getting a brand new pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the hope of getting a holographic card or a legendary. Yu-Gi-Oh 2 is what I saw in all of the subtweets, but it's starting to get a bit out of hand because I've already known that in content creation, they've created like some sort of AI to where now you can have an avatar of yourself. If you're somebody who produces a ton of videos that require a script, all you need to do is essentially just have yourself record without making too much doggone movements, and then all of a sudden they'll create an AI version of you to create the videos. Here's the problem. Streamers are supposed to be able to go and interact with people in real time. Take, for example, somebody like me. I speak with a lot of enunciation of words. I'm incredibly animated. It's going to be very difficult to AI me, but there's
I was thinking the exact same thing. It would just like I don't know. And I go through different hairstyles, dude. I'll go from long hair to short hair in the blink of an eye. Or just some shit like that. And again, I do a lot of talking with my hands and face. Yeah, sometimes I'll shave off all this completely. It's just there's too many variables that go with that to AI that. I mean, certain content creators you probably could AI. And it would probably work well, to be honest. But that's just, AI only works if you're on camera. AI doesn't matter for audio. At least not for what we're talking about.
A lot of people who just sit there chilling all day, who you may think as a viewer is a real person who might not even be a sentient being. Dear God, no!
Yeah,
Imagine watching a video on YouTube and you got a creator trying to tell you about their lived experience in an effort to be relatable and connect to you, only to find out they're not even a real person. Wouldn't you feel like you getting deceived?
Yeah, like you're getting scammed. Pretty much. But yeah, you are getting scammed because this person is off. You're not getting scammed out of money. You're getting scammed out of time. And you're also getting scammed in the fact that this person is offering relatability to you, but there's no relatability to be had because you're not fucking real. You know?
Why are you checking yourself out in the mirror, Miss iRobot? You're not real. Now, don't get me wrong. I recognize AI is coming for everybody. But if you're skilled and talented enough, I think you'll be able to endure the wave of AI coming in, because I think they're really just going to weed out all of the...
See, for me, you know how I can tell if AI is fake? By how it sounds. Sometimes you can tell by the way it looks. But I don't know if you've noticed, the way it looks is becoming better and better. The way it sounds is what's difficult. Getting people's voices right. And not just getting people's voices right, but getting what they say correct. Like, I know one time I was watching shorts and a short popped up and it was Joe Rogan. And then I listened because Joe Rogan was talking about an episode of SpongeBob and a conspiracy theory that went with an episode of SpongeBob. And in my head, I'm like, I don't think Joe Rogan's ever talked about fucking SpongeBob. I don't think Joe Rogan gives a fuck about cartoons. And if he did, he doesn't even strike me as a SpongeBob kind of fucking guy. This is AI. And it was. And it was. Just because... Why is Joe Rogan talking about SpongeBob again? What? That's how I knew. And it was.
Mediocre individuals. But for a streaming perspective, there's a lot of streamers who really just talk to the chat but don't talk to people individually. Now, if you're grand. Like you got a Kai Cenat speeds kind of size of a stream. It's very difficult to address people by name. But if you're on a smaller scale and you can see the names move without having to put the chat into slow mode, you could at least interact with the people who are viewing you in real time. What these AI streamers gonna do? Like, you supposed to be waiting for GTA 6 to drop. Fast forward, tail end of this year, you got an AI streamer playing GTA. Motherfuckers is gonna be able to go and tune in, because I would assume if you got an AI streamer, the aesthetic of the stream is gonna be whatever your imagination wants it to be. So if you somebody on the lower end, you're not gonna be able to create the surroundings and the aesthetic that an AI can simply just conjure up. So you're already on the losing end.
Do you need some money?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like,
I need about 350.
And now that I think about it, I misspoke. It's not even just the mediocre folk who's just coasting, not really trying anything new. It's also the startup individuals, and then not only just the startup, the people who trying to figure things out. You on the back burner, bro, because how you gonna be able to compete with something that's gonna have all of the analytics already installed, things that already got all the intricacies of the successful streamers that's already gonna be plugging in real time and updating itself?
No, I gave you everything I had.
My biggest concern is simply the accountability and responsibility after the fact.
I think we can stop it there. I think I got the gist of it. Let me read some comments. If you think we're screwed, think about the kids who are gonna grow up with this stuff. Oh, I know. They're not gonna. They're gonna. I mean, you could probably trick me with AI, like a visual or something, but I don't know. Again, with the sound, and it all goes together. The sound and the visual when it comes to AI, it just I don't know. You just have to really know a person. Really. Oh. Okay. Y'all down for some fat files? That's the one I've been wanting to do. But I kinda wanna go schmurk. I was wanting to watch this one by Michael Knowles, but we'll just wait. No, that's what I wanted.
Because call it what it is. These
Bro, I don't. No, that was it. Oh. My millionaire boyfriend dumped me because of red pill content. Thought it was because of that, but I don't want to watch that one. But no, what were we doing? What were we doing? Fucking raisins, dude. I'll tell you what. I love I love Raisinets. Y'all know Raisinets, right? Just chocolate covered raisins. Now let me tell you something. I fucking hate raisins. I don't hate them, I just don't like them. Hate is a strong word for raisins. If it was the only thing I had to fucking eat and I was starving, yeah, I'd eat some raisins, but I don't like raisins. Raisinets? I'll fuck them up. Regular raisins? Pass. I don't. Like, oh, but dude, Raisin Bran? I'll fuck it up. Okay, basically, I can't eat raisins by themselves. It either has to be in the cereal or it has to be covered in chocolate. Regular, flat out, just raisins. I ain't fucking with it. It's not my thing. I can't. There has to be one of those two combinations of thing. Let me I'll go smoke real fast before we start this one. This is a longer one. I can put brought a banana. But I forgot my weed. Oh. Okay. Let's go. America's Raisin Cartel. Let's see.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I take a little bit of pride in the fact that I don't think I've ever engaged in just downright clickbait with an absurd title that has nothing to do with the video, and I'm not gonna start today. This is absolutely real. Today we're talking about the United States Raisin cartel, an entity that is so powerful at its peak, was able to confiscate half of a farmer's crop and pay them absolutely nothing in return. This entity was so powerful and so ingrained in the US system that it took a 13-year legal battle going all the way to the Supreme Court twice before it could be overturned. And we're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsor.
Word. His wife is calling.
Where are you?
Fishing, just like you told me to.
Where? I mean, your truck is still here.
I'm just upstairs playing Fishing Clash. It's too cold outside.
Nicholas.
What?
I told you I wanted real fish tonight, not from your game.
Oh, I thought you just wanted me to have fun.
No, never. I can't eat your...
Bro, this girl is old school. She wanted fish and expected him to actually go fishing. Like the days of old. I just go buy that shit.
Your imaginary fish, just like I can't spend your imaginary internet money.
First of all, Bitcoin is real.
Whatever, your mother's coming over soon, so just go to the store and get some fish.
No.
Okay, fine. Never gonna get laid.
You forgot to hang up, and if you want to get laid more, you gotta last more than 2 minutes.
Okay, first of all, last night doesn't count. It was doggy style, so that's technically 14 minutes, okay? Show some respect.
Gosh. Goodbye.
Bye, I love you. Fishing Clash lets you catch way more fish than you ever could in real life from all over the world, all in the comfort of your own home. Not only that, but Fishing Clash is completely customizable, allowing you to unlock and upgrade all of your equipment and even build supposedly going to be able to turn this entire thing around. So once he gets in how you got to that ridiculous point so that we could never ever do it again. So we're going to take it from the top. So our story begins in the 1930s during the Great Depression. Americans are poor and they're starving. So in 1932, they elect a new president, FDR, that is supposedly going to be able to turn this entire thing around. So once he gets into office, he pretty much immediately leaps into action or wheels into action, issuing a ton of new economic policies, most of which were done through executive order. These policies are usually all lumped together and referred to as the New Deal. Now, if you talk to somebody that was alive during this period of time, a lot of those people believe that the New Deal policies is actually what pulled America out of the Great Depression. And then if you talk to a lot of different historians or economists, they believe that the New Deal policies actually prolonged the Great Depression. Regardless, the policy that we're focusing on today is the AAA, or the Agricultural Adjustment Act, that happened in 1933. Now, what the Agricultural Adjustment Act attempted to address was the fact that pretty much nobody in America had any money for basically anything, including food. That meant if they couldn't buy food, demand went down, which meant the prices went down, which meant the farmers were making less money.
I bet you though that with everyone poor, it was fun because it was equal. It was great.
And obviously that makes business very hard for the farmers, and some of them were going to go out of business and they weren't going to be able to keep up their operation, and we can't allow that to happen because
it's not as sucky when it sucks for everyone, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Everybody's going to starve to death. So the policy's intent was to solve a very good problem that needed to be solved. However, how they decided to go about it was kind of fucking dumb. Under the Agricultural Adjustment Act, basically the government would collect tax money and then take that tax money and give it to farmers in exchange for destroying or just not planting a portion of their crop. Farmers were literally paid by the government with US tax dollars to burn entire fields of crops. They killed over 6 million pigs and just let the meat rot, and they dumped out millions and millions of gallons of milk.
It's amazing what these fools just throw away. Oh well. One man's toxic sludge is another man's potpourri.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down as to why this was a stupid fucking idea, the people can't afford to buy food, which meant the farmers couldn't sell food. So the government came in and said,
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
They then went to the people that can't afford food and took some of their money by force and then gave it to the farmers to then destroy the food that these people need to eat because they're starving, and then the prices of the food went up. So now the people that already couldn't afford food definitely can't afford food. It's literally so stupid, it's evil. Luckily, we live in America. There's an entire system of checks and balances, and by 1936, the Agricultural Adjustment Act was deemed unconstitutional and overturned by the Supreme Court. So realizing that what he was doing was stupid, evil, and unconstitutional, FDR just let the idea go like any normal person would. No, I'm just kidding. He pretty much immediately issued another program that was basically identical, but it was just different enough to not be unconstitutional this go around, and that would buy him a couple of more years before they could shut him down again. And that was called the Agricultural Marketing Agreement Act of 1937. Now, coupled with that, in 1937, FDR realized that they're just going to overturn his policies again at the Supreme Court level, so he then attempted to pack the Supreme Court.
Why does he want this policy so bad?
so that he had enough people in the Supreme Court to just pass his policies through, whether they were unconstitutional or not. At this point in time, the Supreme Court had 9 Supreme Court justices, and FDR put out a new policy and tried to force it through Congress that would allow him to appoint 6 more for a total of 15 Supreme Court justices.
So that you can own a majority of them? Or are you high?
Now, this act that would allow FDR to appoint more Supreme Court justices did not make it through Congress, but a lot of historians believe the reason it didn't make it through Congress was because as soon as all of this added political pressure got placed on the Supreme Court, and it looked like they were going to lose some of their power by diluting the entire court, some of them switched their opinion over to start letting FDR's New Deal policies through. This is commonly referred to as the switch in time to save the 9, referring to some of the justices switching their opinion over to save the effectiveness of the Supreme Court. Basically, the Supreme Court got bullied into letting FDR do what he wanted, whether it was unconstitutional or not. So now that the Supreme Court is scared to shut down FDR for doing anything unconstitutional, in 1938, he reinstates a slightly modified version of the Agricultural Adjustment Act that they had already struck down. Buh! I don't know why you're making FDR seem like he was a bad president. He got us through World War II and he was a great guy. Buh! Okay, first of all, I don't know how he gets credit for getting us through World War II when he didn't even make it through World War II. He passed away before World War II ended. As for being a good guy, yeah, maybe, sure, as long as we're willing to overlook attempting to pack the Supreme Court so that he could continue to burn crops while Americans are starving, confiscating gold from American citizens via executive order, refusing to sign anti-lynching legislation because he didn't want to upset the Dixiecrat voter base in the South, solidifying the Federal Reserve, hiding his disability from the American voter so that he could be the only president to serve more than 2 terms.
Kinda. He's not a piece of shit, he's a politician. That's what you just described right there.
You're saying
yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about
persecuting 600,000 Italian Americans by declaring them an enemy of the state, where they were then subjected to confiscations, internment, and curfews, and then interning 125,000 Japanese Americans in camps where they lost their homes, their businesses, and had to stay there for years for no reason other than the fact that we were at war with Japan and their family or they came over from Japan to America because they thought America was better. So yeah, if we're willing to overlook all that, he sounds chill as fuck. Probably a great guy. I'm getting sidetracked, I'm sorry. So this is the political landscape we have going into World War II. So World War II happens, America raises a massive army. I think it totaled in almost 16 million men throughout the course of World War II. And obviously, you gotta feed 16 million men. And one of the easiest food products to actually buy up and then preserve and ship across an entire ocean without it going bad happened to be raisins. So the United States is now buying up a ton of raisins. So obviously, the demand goes up, meaning the price goes up, meaning more people start making fucking raisins to sell to the US government, because that's how capitalism works. Fast forward, World War II ends, the entire military gets to come back home, resume civilian life. The military shrinks dramatically, meaning that you've got less men to feed, meaning that the US government quits buying so many raisins. Now, all the service members could go home and buy raisins on their own if they liked raisins, but guess what? Nobody fucking likes raisins, so nobody's buying the raisins. The price plummets, at which point capitalism should probably kick in again, and the growers are gonna realize, oh, there's not a huge market for raisins anymore. I should probably do something else. Now that's what should happen. But in this particular instance, the government, for whatever reason, decides, you know what?
Double down.
I like raisins. I think we should keep overproducing raisins, and then the government will come up with some solution on how to stabilize the price of raisins.
This looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? Let me think.
Which is great news, because if the US government has...
It's crazy because now we have a problem that we originally didn't have, and it's because we started the problem. By either thinking we were smarter than what we were, or by just overthinking the absolute shit out of it to the point where it results in buffoonery.
Has a long proven track record of doing anything at all good, it's obviously stabilizing things. I mean, look at the Middle East. So the government says, okay, here's what we're going to do. Under the authority of the Agricultural Management Agreement Act of 1937, we're going to use that authority to create a new government entity that we're going to call the Raisin Administration Committee. We're going to have a whole government entity at the federal level solely committed to raisins. Now, right off the bat, that sounds kind of dumb, but don't worry, it gets way worse because the Raisin Administration Committee is actually directly under the authority of the Department of Agriculture. And the reason that's a big deal is because the Department of Agriculture was founded with executive authority in 1862, meaning that the Department of Agriculture is part of the executive branch of the United States government, which more or less means whatever policies they adopt internally are basically de facto written into law. And if anybody disagrees, they have to take them to court and prove that it was unconstitutional, which is a gigantic hurdle that takes years. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the federal government just created a new federal entity for raisins that has executive authority. So the Raisin Administration Committee immediately gets to work stabilizing the price of raisins, aka driving the price of raisins up, even though they shouldn't cost that much. So they get to work at doing it, and the plan they come up with how to do it is they're gonna go to every raisin grower, farmer, manufacturer, however you wanna do that. You fucking grow grapes and then you leave them out in the sun, whatever that guy is. They go to those guys and they're like, hey, here's the new policy that we've just written into law under nobody's authority. The new rule, the new law, is that you're gonna have to give us a certain percentage of your crop every year based on however much we decide you're gonna give us, and you have zero recourse. We're gonna take it for a grand total of free 99. We're not gonna give you shit, and we're gonna hoard it in the National Raisin Reserve. Now, once they're in the National Raisin Reserve, we can go ahead and do whatever the fuck we want with them. A lot of the times we're donating them to the military for rations. We're donating them to schools for school lunch programs. This is why every person my age and 20 years older than me and probably younger than me has eaten a shit ton of...
No. I ignored the fuck out of those as much as I could, like the plague, dude. Yeah, but I had them, and raisins or whatever, bro. Really, I don't mind them. But again, dude, I will ignore them if I'm not that hungry. I'll ignore the shit out of some raisins.
Of these in elementary school. It's because the government was getting them for free by stealing them from farmers. Now, to be completely fair and intellectually honest, there was a way that the farmers could make some money from the National Raisin Reserve, and that was if the administration committee decided that they weren't going to donate it to school programs or the military or sit there and let it rot, which they did to a ton of raisins. They just literally rotted and they had to throw them away. If the entity did decide that they wanted to sell some of the raisins to a foreign market that didn't interfere with the American raisin price, whatever they sold that for, the farmers would get a kickback. But if they did sell it, it was at a highly reduced rate, and the money amounted to nowhere near the cost of actually growing the raisins. Okay, do you understand what has happened? This is literally a raisin cartel. Like, this isn't clickbait. This isn't, oh, the fat electrician came up with a funny name for his YouTube title. No, the definition of cartel is literally, and I quote, an association of manufacturers or suppliers with the purpose of maintaining prices at a high level and restricting competition. It is straight up a raisin cartel. People listen up.
But because it's raisins, I don't really think anyone's gonna bat an eye. Because I think the people involved are the only people that care. I guess. Oh, man.
This is a national security emergency. We have an imminent threat.
The Raisin Administration Committee is literally rolling up to every raisin grower in the country saying, give me a cut or else. And this goes on from 1949 until 2015. But the hero of our story comes into play in 2002. And that hero is a humble...
I mean, that's not that bad, really, if you think about it. The government coming in and saying, hey, give me a cut of your raisins. And the only time that would be bad is if the raisins were being used for something that wasn't for schools or the military. Like if they just sat out and rot. That pissed me off. I could have used those raisins. But you let them sit out there and rot all fucking day. Huh? Yeah, that pissed me off. So in some instances, that was good, right? Because you're helping the nation, helping kids, feeding soldiers, right? Doing your part. Hopefully they asked nicely and not on some fucking give me your shit, and explained it. But on one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it's like, fuck you, kinda, man. You're taking shit I could use, and then you're taking it and letting it go to waste. I'd be damned.
Raisin farmer by the name of Marvin Horn, who in 2000/2003 was told by the Raisin Administration Committee that this year they would be confiscating 47% of his crop and giving him fucking nothing in return.
Way.
Just so we're all on the same page, the federal government rolled up to a raisin farmer and said, hey, I'm gonna steal 47% of your crop, but
this is why we have guns. Right here. Right now. I would have let you have 2-3% maybe for free. 47? Fuck you. You're insulting me. That's shooting words. I'm gonna protect my own. Go get your guys. I'll be right here. That's why we have guns. So that you can protect yourself against shit like this, or at the very least, you go out like a boss. Guns blazing, cause fuck it. You take 47% of my company, I might as well not even have fucking company. Might as well not even have a house. And if I don't have a house, I might as well not even be alive. And if I might as well not even be alive, well, I just started blasting. Right? So, don't fuck with people this way. You avoid violence this way. Again, I'm willing to part with 3% free of charge. But, good lord, bro.
Don't worry, you can keep the other 53%. But I just need to mention, once you sell that 53% of your raisin crop, that's going to count.
And we're also going to tax you and
as income, and you're going to have to pay income taxes. And then whatever money is left, you can have to spend on whatever you want. But whenever you spend that money, I'm also going to charge you sales tax. It's literally the mafia. Anytime money moves, you got to give the grape father a cut. Okay, you're dealing with the grape fellas. I'm so sorry. Okay, I did one dad joke. I'm done, okay? It's just the entire situation is completely unreasonable.
Soak the raisins in moonshine? Dude, I've never thought of that. But I kind of have an inkling that would just taste like shit. Unless, like, I don't know, different kinds of wines. Maybe it would taste good, depending on the wine that you used, but... Dude, imagine you had like a bowl full of moonshine soaked raisins. You eat like 4 of these bitches and you're just gone. Like, I would probably be. Man, I don't drink, so. Just call it again.
Yeah, babe.
Nick, oh my god, I missed my period.
Oh no.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
I heard it through the grapevine.
Goodbye.
He said, I know. I said, oh no. 2 very different types of no's.
Those with Robinhood Gold can enjoy a 3% IRA match. Tremendous.
That's enough of that. Cinnamon cream cheese. Is that good? Or are you just trolling, Jeff?
More impactful, right?
Anyways, by this point, Marvin Horn is driven to the brink. He can't stay in business functioning like this, so he's just driven to the edge, and he finally stands up for himself and he says, no, I'm not going to keep living like this. I'm not going to give you 47% of my entire crop. I'm going to keep everything that I own, and I'm going to sell it myself. And the Raisin Cartel is immediately furious.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
So the Raisin Administration Committee orders him to pay back the value of the raisins to the committee, approximately $400,000. And then, because he wasn't a good little boy that just forked over half of his living, they decided they were also going to fine him an additional $200,000 for his disobedience, which apparently is complete.
And then I would have hit him with fucking a smooth-ass Cartman. How would you like to suck my balls? That's it. Because your fines, to me, are the equivalent of fucking sanctions. What the hell do those even do anyways? Fucking nothing. You're gonna have to come pry that $600K from my cold, dead hands. Either the raisins or the money. Either way, whatever you're getting is gonna come over my dead body. We can play it that way. We really can. Ha! I'll make a bunker out of these goddamn raisins and fucking blow you away.
Completely legal because they have executive authority, which means apparently you can do whatever the fuck you want all the time and it's not against the rules. Yeah. So Marvin Horn realizes he's going to have to defend himself, so he starts looking into the law, and he starts at the first place that you should always start, the Constitution. Okay, Amendment number 1 says I can pray to whoever I want and say whatever I want, and you're not allowed to stop me. Amendment number 2 says I have guns if you disagree with the first one, and rule number 3 says I don't have to have soldiers sleep in my house. Rule number 4 says no unreasonable searches and seizures. Oh, here we are. Rule number 5, where it clearly says, and I quote, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation.
Huzzah.
Sounds to me like it's a pretty clear-cut case of it's a violation of the 5th Amendment. So obviously, they go to court. Marvin Horn wins immediately because he can literally read the 5th bullet point of the founding document of the entire fucking... No, I'm just... Kidding. A 12-year legal battle ensues that goes all the way to the Supreme Court, gets kicked back down into another district court, and then goes back to the Supreme Court again. So after a damn near 13-year-long legal battle, Marvin Horn finally wins with the Supreme Court citing in.
Does he at least get back pay for those 13 years of legal fees and yada yada and fucking?
His favor in an 8-1 decision. And this is the part where I wish I could end the video just saying like, hooray, the good guys finally won in the end and it all worked out and we all got together and sang Kumbaya by the fireplace. The Raisin.
But the bad guy always has something up his sleeve, bro. Always. They can never just take the L. They're gonna get their get back somehow.
The Administration Committee lost its federal status and they just became a lobbying group. The Federal Raisin Reserve evaporated into thin air and it all went away and all was right in the world. But my brain doesn't work that way because I have to know who the Supreme Court justice was that voted against Marvin Horn. So I looked into it and of course it was Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor. So I went, I found her dissenting opinion where she wrote it up. I'm not gonna read it to you guys because it's like 20 pages and it's all in lawyer jargon. But the abbreviated version of her argument was she didn't believe what the Raisin Administration Committee was doing was technically a taking. And her justification for that was, well, technically, even though the Raisin Administration Committee did in fact take his shit without his permission, they could have potentially, if they decided to, sold some of those raisins. And if they did sell some of those raisins, they were gonna give him a small portion of the proceeds.
But did they?
Therefore, that's not technically a taking.
Yeah, but that's not what happened. So therefore, it was. You stupid ass.
What you just said
It's so fucking dumb.
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Do you understand how?
And you're a lawyer, and that was your reasoning. I just shat all over that reasoning because it doesn't make sense. And you... Wow. Man. I feel so bad for your parents. They spent all that money to send you to college to become the profession that you currently hold. And you suck so bad at it. You can't even read. That's wild. Man, they wasted their money. That's unfortunate. That's probably a lot of money for law school and shit. And you're this bad at it. They let you continue to practice law. That's interesting.
How violently stupid.
It's almost like it's almost like you're just unqualified as fuck to hold any kind of position. But here you are holding that position. I wonder why. Because surely there's not a shortage of people that are more qualified than you. I know that's not the case. Because there's always someone more qualified than you, no matter what the profession is. You might have this job for other reasons, but reasons I'll keep to myself.
Stupid that opinion is, okay? Like, let's apply this logic to any other situation, okay? Let's say that I'm a burglar and I break into your house. I sit you there on the table and I take 47% of all the shit in your house. I steal it, I walk away, I'm fucking gone. Later, the cops catch me, okay? And while I'm arrested in handcuffs and they take me into court, I look at
you basically say, well, I mean, yeah, technically I did rob his house, but before the police caught me, I sold at least like 20% of the shit that I stole, and I was going to take that money and return it back to him because I started to feel kind of bad because like I kind of left him with like 53%, right? Instead of the 100 he started with. So I sold some of the stuff that I stole. So I can just give him that money, right? I go free. And no, bro, no, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that it's insulting.
The judge in the face and I go, well, Your Honor, it technically wasn't me being a burglar and stealing because I was considering selling some of their shit at a heavy discount to a pawn shop. And if I did that, I had every intention of giving them some of the money back later. Do you think?
Fucking dog shit of excuse. The worst excuse. It sounds like an excuse my 4-year-old niece would come up with. fucking, and that's a full grown ass woman, full grown ass lawyer right there saying dumb fucking nut.
The judge would let me not.
These are the people that have the capacity to send us to jail. Crazy. Isn't that crazy? Think about it. Person with that kind of power being dumber than me. Nuts.
Go to prison? No, because that's fucking dumb. Okay, I don't even know how I got here. Okay, like a week ago, I got an email. Somebody said like, "Hey, fat electrician, you should look into Marvin Horn, the raisin farmer that defeated the federal government." And now I have this conspiracy theory about how FDR created a raisin cartel that extorted raisin farmers for 70 years straight. And I'm making a video for the internet, probably pissing off the raisin cartel. And now I need to go into witness protection because they're going to come and sun dry me and my whole family. I have to go. I got to go get ready for an altercation.
I don't think anybody's sweating raisins right now, man. To be honest, I don't think anybody's. Do y'all like raisins? I mean, dude, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not gonna lie. I really, really love Raisin Bran. I truly fucks with Raisin Bran. I've been eating Raisin Bran my whole life. But as far as and Raisinets, only time I eat those is when I go to a movie theater. But like individual raisins and just like regular raisins, do y'all like them like that? Do y'all just eat them like that? No. I can't think of very many people that eat raisins as a snack. Because that's essentially all it is, man. That you don't eat that shit to get full. And you definitely don't eat it in the same mindset that you would eat like a Snickers bar or like a Three Musketeers or a Milky Way. No, it's sweet, but it's not like chocolate sweet, right? So it really is just like a diet snack, really, for the most part. And no, not really. Let's see if the comment section agrees. I don't really think anybody's sweating raisins today, to be honest, but let's see. No one's. Sun Dry, the Raisin Cartel's version of waterboarding. Me at the start of a fat electrician video. Oh boy, this should be a fun kooky story. Me at the end of a fat electrician video. Aggressively loading AR mags while muttering incoherently about raisins, cheese, and the federal government. That really is how it feels sometimes. Like, you watch the video and you're just like, man, this is really informative. And then by the end, you're just like, wow, dude, I haven't felt this homicidal in years. Something about that last video just really had me wanting to fucking kill somebody. Oh, dude, yeah. That's... especially when the culprit is the government and they're fucking someone over, bro. I hate when that's the story. God damn. Unfortunate. Just so you know, Barack Obama nominated Sarah Sotomayor to the Supreme Court. I don't know who that is. But if Obama endorsed her, I'm going to take a step on a limb and say that I would probably think that she was stupid if I did know who she was or what she was about. Am I at least correct in that? Because And how do you nominate? What are you talking about? Like he nominated her back in his time, or he nominated her right now? What? Ugh. Do y'all want to watch this? Try not to laugh. It's Michael Knowles, but it's like dark humor TikToks and shit like that. And I'm not really watching it. And I am watching it for Mr. Knowles, but mainly just for the videos. We could find a video on its own that's not. Oh shit. Actually, nah. Nah. I was gonna, is it racist? Is good? What do you mean? Do I just type that in? What were we looking at? Are you saying, is it racist by Michael Knowles? I don't. Yeah. Video? Fucking Ari Shaffir, bro, is like. I want to say one of the godfathers of racist comedy because he did The Amazing Racist. And that shit was wild. That shit was hilarious. Yeah, I type in "is it racist" and it just pops up with Tosh.0. I forgot he used to do a segment on. Yeah. How long is it? We'll check this out real quick and then I gotta go feed my niece. Let me see. I'll just type in Michael Knowles. Nope, not that. Oh, I doubt I'm gonna be able to find the video. Let's see. Michael Knowles. Oh, here it is. No, that's like hella long though. Holy. Wait, no. Maybe this one? Michael Knowles reacts to race stereotypes with comedian Ari Shaffir. Is that the one? This is a good one too. The good one too. I want. Which one were you talking about? It's like 19 minutes. I can scroll through it just like through some of the clips. I don't know, man. Let's see. I'll just pick a couple.
When you need reliable coverage,
hey, Grandma!
Cox Mobile is right there with you.
I'll pick a couple from here.
Let's get you home.
That's not weird at all.
My guest today is comedian Ari Shafir, whose new Netflix comedy special, America's Sweetheart, is out now. We will get to that later. First,
I'm going here.
Like India and Pakistan, Goa.
Yeah. You say I find
Where does he shower?
Shower?
Oh no.
That sounds American straight.
I know. Is it?
Accent. So now, what do you think he is?
Oh, no.
That's a big thing. Could be. What do we say? Could be.
Could be Indian.
Could be Indian. Could be Arab.
Could be Arab, like real dark Arab. Could be
Latino.
Yeah, I guess like indigenous, like Quechua kind of Latino. In any case,
not like me.
Not in any case. Those are different stereotypes.
Dude,
they're not showering?
How much space between clips? Holy shit. Hold on. Dude, I don't think these are the ones I'm supposed to be on. Gonna go back. That was not a fruitful endeavor. I thought they were gonna be like more back-to-back type clips, but there was just a lot of I don't know, that was long. I'll get back to it. I just want to find one that is more so back-to-back clips than anything else. Instead of, but no, you know what? That's fine. Because I think for the exception of yours, David, which we'll just do tomorrow, we took care of everything. For the most part. I gotta give my niece some food, so. And I gotta eat myself because I'm starving. I haven't done that all day. But 'twas fun, dudes. Guys, gals, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for chilling. We'll be live again tomorrow, either on Twitch or here. I'll let you know which one on Discord. But and then I will see y'all again on Monday here on YouTube. We'll keep I'll keep covering these stories that are gonna keep cropping up because they're fun for me to cover. Especially that Marine one, dude. That shit was good lord. But alright guys, gals, love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow or Monday. Have a good rest of y'all's weekend. These dudes, my fucking good god. Hair. I might go live on some Monster Hunter later on Twitch. If I see y'all there, I'll see y'all. If not, I will see y'all later. Alright.